Here we go. Welcome into the show. We are live for day 2 of 2026 NFL free agency. My name is Chase Sr., and no matter where you are or how you're tuned in, thank you so much for making today's show a part of your day. Thanks for watching all of the content last night. So many videos up on the channel, a lot of YouTube shorts. We are live for 6 hours, and we'll be live for the next few hours starting right now. Producer Chip along for the ride. He's on the ones and twos producing today's show. And we have all of you hanging out here with us as well, as the people are rocking with us from every pocket of America and worldwide. We'll go through some of the top free agents left heading into day 2. We've seen some signings already happen. But since we signed off, there have, of course, been a lot of moves all across the National Football League. So let's get you caught up on some of these recent transactions that you may have missed, and obviously set the table for everything that transpired and what could happen and go down on day 2 of NFL free agency. A reminder, don't forget to hit that subscribe button as you come in here. Do us a favor, hit that thumbs up icon and like the video. The more likes that we get, the more people who find the stream, the more people who come in here, and the more fun that we have. Leave a comment down below, chop it up with all of the fellow real ones, and share this video on social media to let people know that what we're doing is very special as we're emanating live, once again, from Studio I in the Chat Sports Studios at Chat Sports HQ. So a couple of teams, of course, yesterday spent some big money. Also includes the Washington Commanders. And they made a couple of big moves yesterday. That included a move that you see here to my right. Tim Settle, the defensive tackle, signing a 3-year, $24 million deal. That, of course, easy math, $8 million per year. D. Alford, the cornerback, signing with the Buffalo Bills on a 3-year, $21 million contract. He gets $10 million in guaranteed money. The Tennessee Titans, alongside the Las Vegas Raiders, the most aggressive team on day 1 of free agency, spending a lot of coin. A lot of that money was spent on offense, but Tennessee bringing in a center in Austin Schlottman. 2-year, $9 million contract, $3.5 million in guaranteed money. I really like some of the value signings that we saw from the New York Giants. For instance, Jermaine Illuminor in this exploding tackle market and exploding offensive line market. I mean, yesterday we saw Tyler Linderbaum, a center, get $27 million per year. He would be the second highest paid right tackle in football. And so for the Giants to get a top 10 to 12 right tackle in football at $13 million per season on a 3-year, $39 million contract, $26 million in guaranteed money, I like that for New York. And Jermaine Illuminor, a friend of Chat Sports. Alex Singleton, the former Philadelphia Eagle who overcame testicular cancer last year, signing a nice little Coinbase deal with the Denver Broncos. 2 years, $15.5 million, $11 million in guaranteed money. Travis Kelce running it back for, what is it, year 14 now? 1 year, $12 million deal. If I was Kansas City, I'd probably make the difficult choice to move on, especially at that number. There were some early reports that Kelce was going to get $14 million. It's not that. But if you look at a guy like Isaiah Likely getting $13.3 from the Giants, and he's 25 years old, Kelce's getting 12. He's not the player that Likely is now. I don't love it for Kansas City, but look, they're having an interesting offseason. They moved off of Trent McDuffie. They let Jalen Watson go. Their safety, Brian Cook, got paid by Cincinnati, but they also signed Kenneth Walker at like, what, $13 to $15 million per year, and then Travis Kelce at 1 year, 12. The Chargers' offensive line last year was atrocious. Trevor Penning, backup offensive tackle option, former first-round pick and a bust. 1 year, $4.5 million deal. Greg Dulcich returning to Miami on a 1-year contract worth $3.25. Noah Fant, New Orleans, 2 years, $8.75 million, $4.5 million in guaranteed money. I said this yesterday. If there is a team that I think could surprise a lot of people and make the playoffs in 2026, it's the New Orleans Saints. I think toward the back half of the year, they were playing better than any team in that division. And it looks like Tyler Shuck is the real deal. I like Kellen Moore at the head coaching spot. So Noah Fant, another weapon on that Saints team. I like what New Orleans is building. The other team on top of Tennessee that spent crazy dough yesterday, the Las Vegas Raiders. And they legitimately yesterday added, I think, 8 players who are going to start for their team in 2026 as of right now. And while I think some of the moves are overpays, like Quay Walker at 3 years, 40.5, and Tyler Linderbaum at 27, I do like what they're doing from a cultural standpoint. Bringing in Nakobe Dean, who is a class act and was beloved by that Eagles organization and was the leader of those Georgia Bulldogs who Howie Roseman drafted, and a great player at the University of Georgia, and turned himself into a really good pro. 3 years, $36 million, $20 million. Clint Kubiak, John Spytek, trying to establish a culture. Nakobe Dean's going to help him do that. And while Linderbaum reset the center market by $9 million in average annual value, because Creed Humphrey was the highest paid center at $18 million, he comes from Baltimore. Baltimore, Philly. Two of the most put together established cultures in the NFL. And so you see what the Raiders are doing. But Quay Walker, 3 years, $40.5 million, $28 million in guaranteed money. That's a lot of cash. Malcolm Kuntz, that's fine. Defensive ends are going for a big rate, 1 year and 11. The Titans back at it. Cordell Volson, guard, 1 year, $2.5 million. Isaiah Hodgins, a Giants demon, 1 year deal. Kenny Pickett to Carolina. He'll take the spot of, I think, Andy Dalton as the backup there. 1 year, $7.5, $4 million in guaranteed money. Rashid Shaheed, 3 years, $51 million, $34.7 million in guaranteed money as he returns to Seattle. And that's about $17 million per year, right? And some people might say that's a lot of money. Best returner in the NFL, breathtaking weapon on offense. Plus, John Schneider gave up a 4 and a 5 for him. He let Kenneth Walker, Boye Mafe walk. So I don't hate Rashid Shaheed because he's a really game-breaking player. Arizona Cardinals, definitely free agency losers so far. Their quarterback room next year is going to be an absolute joke. They did sign LJ Collier to a 1 year, $2.5 million deal. In this exploding guard market, I don't hate the former Eagle and Steeler, Isaac Seumalo, going to Arizona on a 3 year, $31.5 million deal. Roy Lopez, 2 years, $11.5. Reed Blankenship, another Eagle, leaving Philadelphia. They have seen a lot of marquee players leave over the last couple of years, but that's what happens when you have arguably the most stacked roster in the NFL. You can't pay and retain everybody. And it's pretty telling. Two things, right? I think the Eagles could have brought back Reed Blankenship at $8.25 per season, but they could go a lot cheaper if they bring back a CJ Gardner-Johnson, in my opinion. It's also a deep safety class. The other thing, I thought Houston last year was the best defense in the NFL. And they look at Reed Blankenship as a starter on that back end for the number one defense last year, probably the number one defense going into 2026 as well. Obviously, you can make the argument Seattle was a better defense, but Houston was swarming. Quincy Williams, 2 year deal up to $17 million with the Cleveland Browns. Kendrick Bourne, the former Niner, got a good payday. 2 years, $11.47 million, $7.5 million in guaranteed money. Who's going to be throwing him the football? Jacoby Brissett, Gardner Minshew. They'll probably draft a quarterback at some point. I wouldn't hate a developmental player like a Drew Aller going to Arizona potentially, or a Cade Klubnik who played a lot at the college level. No rush to play that player, but they obviously need a quarterback after moving off of Kyler Murray. Braxton Jones, offensive tackle, 1 year up to 10 with Chicago. Dane Belton, 1 year, 4 with the Jets. Ardarius Washington, before I think tearing his Achilles a year ago or 2 years ago, was a good player. And so he goes to the Giants on a 1 year prove-it deal. Rico Dowdle is an underrated back. I like him going to Pittsburgh. I don't think it's a great sign for the Iowa back who's on that team. And when he got snaps last year, it just didn't look that fast. I don't know if he has NFL speed, but Dowdle can play. He showed that with the Cowboys. He showed that with Carolina. 2 years, $12.25. Christian Harris, the linebacker, to Atlanta. Kyle Allen, 2 years, $6.1. They lost Mitchell Trubisky, so he'll compete for the backup quarterback job. Andrew Beck, fullback, Jets, 1 year, $1.5. Mitch Wishnowsky, the former Niner, re-signing with the Buffalo Bills. Joshua Williams, 2 year deal with Tennessee. Isesi Otemuwu, 1 year deal with Pittsburgh, the defensive end. Cole Strange, 2 years, 13 with the Los Angeles Chargers, as we're getting you caught up, if you're just joining the show, on all of the most recent transactions across the NFL. Late last night, this one was a little bit of a surprise. Number one, Devin Lloyd, that he left Jacksonville. Number two, what his market was and what his contract ended up being. He went later in the day as we got to about, 7 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Eastern. This is a really good player for Carolina, and they get him at $25 million in guaranteed money. So that could pretty much be a 2-year deal worth $12.5 million per year, 3 years over 45, $15 million in average annual value. Carolina had some money to spend on defense. They go Jalen Phillips, overpay at $30 million, but a really good player, and Devin Lloyd. So Carolina is another team alongside the Saints. They happen to be in the same division that I think are sneaky solid teams going into 2026. And I like the young coaches. Dave Canales going into year 3, and then Kellen Moore going into year 2. The Raiders are moving off of Daniel Carlson as their kicker, I would imagine, and Matt Gay, new place kicker who was signing with Las Vegas. Sam Williams, I know Tom Downey, our Cowboys host, didn't like this move, but Cowboys 1 year, $3 million deal in that agreement with Sam Williams, the defensive end. Alohi Gilman signing with the Chiefs, the former Charger, stays in the AFC West. 3 years, $24.75, $15 million in guaranteed money. So Kansas City lost Brian Cook to Cincinnati on a larger contract, and they saved some coin with that deal. This is what the Chiefs do. They're so savvy. Tyquan Thornton, the speedy wide receiver, 2 years, 11, staying with Kansas City. I like the value of that. Elijah Vera-Tucker, this was a huge one for New England. He's going to play left guard, and we'll see if he can help out Will Campbell. I asked Patriots general manager Elliott Wolf about how the Patriots going into this offseason were going to weigh Will Campbell's struggles in the playoffs, protecting Drake May with what happened in the Super Bowl, but also measuring where they look at for Will Campbell in the future as a player. They're going to keep him at left tackle, despite the short arms and him struggling in the playoffs. But Elliott Wolf had said to me that they're not worried about the short arms because he has some traits that they believe can allow him to be a good tackle in this league. And it's the good footwork. It's the quick get off at the line of scrimmage. So they're going to keep Will Campbell at left tackle, but they pay Elijah Vera-Tucker, the former Jet, 3 years, $42 million to play left guard. Can he at left guard help out Will Campbell at left tackle? The Patriots offensive line last year wasn't great. Benjamin St-Juste, cornerback, 2 years, 10 with Green Bay. Greg Newsome, good value deal for the New York Giants. They were very active yesterday, and I like a lot of the moves that they made, especially from a value standpoint. They get a really solid corner. Cleveland to Jacksonville last year. Now with New York, it's only a 1-year deal worth up to $10 million. So if Greg Newsome is playing at his peak, he's a good player. LeBrian Wright, defensive tackle to Carolina. Andrew DePaula, 1 year, $1.725, the long snapper with Minnesota. Dawson Knox, 3-year deal. That's an extension with Buffalo. And then Khalif Raymond, the explosive return man and wide receiver, 1 year, 5.1 with Chicago, leaves Detroit. How about yesterday's spending, by the way? Tennessee Titans, $289.5 million. Las Vegas Raiders, $281.5. Washington Commanders, $209.5. Carolina Panthers, $172.5. Indianapolis Colts, $136.0. New Orleans Saints, $133.2. A team like the Philadelphia Eagles, $0 spent in free agency yesterday. So with that, I do want to pose this question here for the audience, and I'm interested to see where everybody is at. The best free agency move so far. What do you think it is? Let me know down in the comment section. We'll start to give you some shout-outs here on the show. Show me if you've been keeping tabs and show me that you know ball. And we'll give you all some shout-outs here. On Eagles Now, shout-out to the recent commenter club. Zenoral saying, great job, Howie. You build your teams through the draft. And the Eagles are going to pay a lot of money for some of their homegrown defensive players. They can't keep everybody. They're going to have to build through the draft on offense. And Howie hasn't made like huge moves in free agency. Oftentimes the teams that spend the most money in free agency are not the teams who are competing for Super Bowls. It oftentimes doesn't work out. So we'll see what happens. Kiki said Howie is sleeping. EJ said I trust him. Millie 420 is in the chat. Hazmat Kid, I'm just sad that the exciting whites are split up. Yeah, Cooper DeJean said his farewell to Reed Blankenship as well. I'm looking over on Niners here. John Wallace, Linderbaum. Even with the rookie quarterback, he can protect him. The Lions are signing Isaiah Pacheco. Is that happening?
Yeah, pretty interesting signing here, man. Isaiah Pacheco.
Okay.
To Detroit.
So they lose David Montgomery, physical back. They bring in Pacheco, who's not close to the player that Montgomery is, but brings that physical component to the running back spot. Lazy Boy likes Walker to the Chiefs. I talked about that on the chase down last night. I do like that move. I think that over the last couple of years, especially since the Chiefs moved off of Tyreek Hill, they've put so much pressure on Patrick Mahomes, which is understandable. I mean, he's one of the best quarterbacks of all time and one of the most gifted players that we've ever seen at that position in the NFL. But they need to give him some help. They haven't been explosive at wide receiver. They haven't been explosive at running back. And so I really like a bell cow back in the backfield with Patrick Mahomes. And I think it allows Mahomes to not rush back from that ACL because for Kansas City, they can kind of ease into everything with that Mahomes recovery, knowing that they have Kenneth Walker to ride a little bit. Contact balance, speed to get to the perimeter, and eye for the end zone. I thought he really came on toward the end of the year. And there's that most recent signing there, Isaiah Pacheco, signing with the Detroit Lions. So his run with Kansas City comes to an end. I imagine that's going to be a pretty cheap deal. Our first super chat coming in on the day, 75 Dignan. $20 super chat. Morning, CNC Niner Factory. Let's go get Romeo Doubs today. Bang, bang. The CNC Factory, for those of you not familiar, Chase and Chip, as we're live once again. Chip's right here. I'm right here. And we're hanging out with all of you. Jonathan Efrog, one of our big dog super chat MVPs from free agency last year. He was sending in some heavy hitter super chats. Gets us started with the touchdown super chat. $7 right there. What's good? The big dog is back. Jonathan Efrog in the building. Everybody put some frog emojis in the chat. Jonathan Efrog is a legend here on the show. David Corona is also in the building. What's up, Chase Sr.? Let's go. All right, here is our super chat menu. All super chats get a shout out. If you send in a $20 super chat, you're going to be in the running to get some show gear from us. Either an Eagles Now shirt, 49ers Report shirt. If you want a Dub City shirt, you can get that as well. So a $20 or more super chat gets you a raffle ticket for that. Had a couple of giveaways yesterday. If you send in a $50 super chat, we'll spin the wheel. $100 for a beer chug. Let me knock that off, though. Let me go 50% off here. Whatever channel, if anybody sends in a $50 super chat right now, I'm going to chug a beer out of the beer bong. And then our super chat MVP gets a signed Niners jersey or an Eagles jersey, depending on what channel that is on. If we get some big-time super chats in, people will be vying for those signed jerseys. How about my guy Byron Nails in the chat? It's been a little while. I see Philly Don in there as well. All right, I did mention off the rip that I would talk about some of the top remaining NFL free agents. And the team here at Chat Sports, in addition to your boy, ranking these free agents in order here. So Trey Hendrickson, #1 free agent available. I had tweeted this out on my X page at Chase_Senior. If Trey Hendrickson saw Jalen Phillips getting $30 million per year, Trey Hendrickson, yes, is older, but he's been more productive. Him and his agent have to be looking at a deal that's something in the vicinity of $30 million in average annual value. But one of the issues is, what suitors are left that are willing to pay Hendrickson where he would want to go? Kyler Murray, #2 free agent available. A lot of buzz behind him signing with Minnesota. I saw Dan Orlovsky talking on the Pat McAfee show. He doesn't know if it's a good scheme fit for Kyler to go to Minnesota, so interested to see what his market is there. For teams looking for an offensive tackle, Rasheed Walker did not sign yesterday. He's going to get paid in this offensive line market. Tariq Woolen, awesome corner. I would love him for the 49ers. I think that would be a really sound signing. Braden Smith is another offensive tackle available, our 5th available player. Tyreek Hill at number 6. This is more name value here because I don't know if he plays in 2026. Bradley Chubb, I would like him as an affordable pass rusher for Philadelphia because he's played under Vic Fangio twice and he's played very well. Jauan Jennings, I do think leaves the 49ers. Him and Mike Evans have a very similar skill set. They're both not burners, but they're both big contested catch guys. Of course, Mike Evans is a better player, but I think Jennings gets $15+ million. Romeo Doubs, interesting wide receiver out there. I think he's a perfect fit for what Kyle Shanahan would want to do. You put him alongside Mike Evans and Ricky Pearsall, Niners wide receiver room would be back. And then you cut DeMarcus Robinson. How about you let Jordan Watkins and Jacob Cowing duke it out as that speed option for that other wide receiver outside of that group? K'Lavon Chaisson, good edge rusher, still available. Don't think he's going to re-sign with New England because they signed Draymond Jones. Taylor Decker, another offensive tackle. He said his goodbyes to Detroit. Stephon Diggs, not a bad year last year, but obviously way past his prime. Nahshon Wright, lengthy, tall, long corner who's got a knack for producing turnovers. Very disruptive player, had a career year last year. Joey Bosa has stayed healthy the last couple of years. That's big for him. Chig Okonkwo, Tennessee, can't block it all, but is a very gifted pass catcher. And sneakily, I think he might be a better option than like David Njoku, although Njoku is a little bit of a better blocker. Joel Bitonio, an offensive guard. I would like him as a stopgap option for the Niners if he doesn't retire. 7-time Pro Bowler who was top 5 in pass rush win rate last year. Jaquan Brisker, really good safety, still on the board with the Bears signing Kobe Bryant to a $40 million contract. I don't think Brisker returns to the Bears. Leo Chenal, linebacker for Kansas City. Jalen Hawkins, the safety formerly of the New England Patriots. Aaron Rodgers, does he return to Pittsburgh to reunite with Mike McCarthy? We'll see there. Will they roll with Will Howard? Some question marks at the quarterback position for the Pittsburgh Steelers, as Pittsburgh is hosting the 2026 NFL Draft, by the way. Going to be very scenic there. Can't wait for that. I think Pittsburgh is one of the more underrated cities in America. Kevin Byard, he's 32, former Eagle, former Titan, multi-time All-Pro, played excellent for the Bears last year. Things have been really silent on the Bears front for Byard. So we'll see if he goes back to the Windy City or if he goes elsewhere. Kirk Cousins, going to be released by Atlanta once the new league year starts tomorrow. Deebo Samuel cracking our top 25 free agents list. Dallas Goedert, excellent tight end. There's some chatter that the Eagles would really like to have him back. And then Logan Hall, defensive lineman, also available and one of our top 25 free agents on day 2 of NFL free agency. There were nearly 100 contracts signed yesterday across the NFL, and like 27 of the 30 top free agents ended up signing with teams, obviously agreeing verbally to some of these deals, which can become official tomorrow. But I still think it's going to be a fun and entertaining day 2, and we're live right here on the show to break it all down and react to it. 75 Dignan makes it rain. $50 super chat, 75 with the heavy hitter super chat. Appreciate that, my guy. And as I had said, anybody who sent in a 50, we were going to go 50% off on the beer chug. I owe you a beer chug right here on the show. So I will do that here in just a moment.
75.
Shout out to everybody watching on Eagles Now, on the 49ers Report. Shout out to everybody watching on the Chase Down as well, my brand new YouTube channel where I'll be talking about the NFL and college football on a national scale. Nothing is changing with my coverage on Eagles Now or the 49ers Report, but since I was 5 years old, I've always wanted to talk about the NFL at a national level because I've dreamed of being a Colin Cowherd, Dan Patrick, Scott Van Pelt, Rich Eisen. Really like what Pat McAfee is doing. Shout out to friend of the show, John Middlecoff. They've all inspired me. And so I know that we're very busy, but I said F it light last week. Got with the bosses, James, Brett, Arnold, our design guy, and we put together a show logo. I came up with the show name, worked on the logo with Arnold. We launched the channel. I was going to have my first show on Sunday. Max Crosby got traded on Friday night, so we started off the channel with a bang, and we're off and running on the chase down. In under 48 hours, I got to 1,000 subscribers. Now we're closing in on 2,000 subscribers. We're at 1,600 right now. Hit that subscribe button to join the chase down. And shout out to everybody watching over there right now. Draco Pimpin, Peter Joseph, Jacko Chases was in the chat all day yesterday. Drew and Sco Show, Little Griffith, Caden also over there as well. And of course, we're live on Eagles Now. We're live on the 49ers Report. So 75 Dignam with that $50 super chat. Can anybody match him on Eagles Now? Because that came in on the 49ers Report. Gonna pour up the beer bong here.
If anybody matches him, I'll give y'all my first drink of the day. Somebody on Eagles, though, has to match him.
We're going 3 Bud Lights in the beer boot. Nothing too heavy today. Cheers to everybody. Thanks for being here. We appreciate you. We always love having fun on the show. All right. If you also send in a $50 super chat, it causes us to spin the wheel. So let's spin the wheel. We hit a couple of these yesterday.
I added some fun things as well.
You added some fun things. All right. I don't even know.
Just some fun things. So
All
a
right.
little surprise for Chase.
Let's go.
Today. Nothing crazy.
Some surprises. I love it.
Just, just some shots for you, things like that. Oh, here's one of the new ones I put on
10 raffle
here.
tickets.
Here's one of the new ones I put on here.
So how are you determining who gets the raffle ticket? It'd be 75, right?
Yeah.
All right,
Just whoever
75.
gets to spin the wheel.
Okay, cool. So 75 sent in the 50. That led to the wheel spin. Now 75 gets 10 raffle tickets for some show merch. Do we have a merch deal to push?
It ended at noon.
Okay.
Yeah. But we do have merch to push, though.
Let's do it. Let's
So,
hit that.
Let's do it. Because you can still get your St. Patty's Day merch in time
Yep.
for Saturday.
Let's do this. So we're going to show you our merch. St. Patrick's Day is today officially, right?
It's actually next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought it was today at first, but it's actually next Tuesday. But people always celebrate the closest Saturday to
Okay.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that makes sense. Okay. So St. Patrick's Day is a week from today. But on Saturday, everybody's going to be out. I know a lot of people in Philly love to do the Aaron Express bar crawl where they hop on buses and they go bar to bar in the city of Philadelphia. All across the country, though, people will be celebrating St. Patrick's Day. They'll be taking down some beers. And cities, boroughs, towns, they'll all be littered in green. They'll be painted green. So if you want a perfect shirt for St. Patrick's Day, if you buy it right now, it will get to you by Saturday, and we're going to give you a deal on the express shipping. So first, if you want to become a member of the Philly Drinking Team, if we could pop back that up, Chip. Philly Drinking Team shirts available right now at chatsports.com/EaglesGreen. They're awesome shirts. You can support the show. You can look great for St. Patrick's Day. And let me say this. If anybody makes a purchase in the next 5 minutes, we will give you 10 raffle tickets. 10 raffle tickets for anybody who makes a purchase in the next 5 minutes. Chatsports.com/EaglesGreen. They're only $24.99, and you can wear these every year for St. Patrick's Day. High quality shirts as well. Carol Hosey even said so. On the Niners side, Bay Area Drinking Team shirts are also available at chatsports.com/NinersGreen. There's a Kelly Green shirt, perfect for St. Patrick's Day, but also a black shirt if you want to switch it up a little bit with some Niner colors. Chatsports.com/NinersGreen. So I'm going to start a timer right now, starting at 5 minutes. And if anybody makes a purchase, we will give you 10 raffle tickets for an opportunity to win free show merchandise, either on Eagles Now or the 49ers Report. So I'm going to pop up my dashboard here, and I'm keeping tabs on anybody who makes a purchase right now.
Let's do it, baby. I put those links in the chat, so all you got to do is click on the links I put in there. You can also see I put in the link for these Beers hats as well if you want to get yourself one of those.
Yep.
To pair with the shirt. And Chase mentioned that we have a special deal. If you get it now, it will get there by Saturday.
Yep.
You just got to click on the drop down. You see it on screen. Select express shipping, and it's knocked down from $9 to $5. Will be there on Saturday, March 14th. So it'll be there by the time you're celebrating, and then obviously before St. Patty's Day next Tuesday as well.
You see the estimated delivery March 14th. So that would be this Saturday for those of you going out on Saturday, or if you're going out for St. Patrick's Day on Tuesday to celebrate. There's also those beer hats, and we showed you those links in the chat as well. Dennis Designs making his thoughts be known. We don't need any of the top 25 free agents. None of them are worth the money. And for Howie Roseman, he didn't make a lot of big splashes last year. It was a very similar situation to this year, where you saw some players leaving for some big-time dollars, headlined by Milton Williams. This year, you're seeing a lot of marquee Eagles players leave, but they're leaving for price tags that the Eagles simply could not afford, and there was a walkaway price there. And the Eagles walked away from some of those price tags, and those players deserve to get some of the contracts that they got. Jeannie Wyatt led the charge yesterday with the $500 super chat. And Jeannie, I know you said you wanted a Brock Purdy signed jersey. I'm going to email you a list of players available and let you choose from what signed jerseys we have. I don't think we have a Brock Purdy jersey available, but some really iconic players, and I'll send you an email to follow up on that front. But Jeannie Wyatt, $100 super chat. Good morning, faithful ladies and the faithfuls. Who's left in free agency, players that are worth getting, Chase? So we went through the top 25 list of the top available free agents. For the 49ers, there are a couple of players who I like. Joel Bitonio, stopgap option at left guard. I think that Tariq Woolen for the Niners would be a really good option. Romeo Doubs would be a splurge move at wide receiver, but one that I would really like that would probably signal that the Niners don't draft a wide receiver early, and then they let Jordan Watkins and Jake McCown duke it out as the speed option. But Doubs, Pearsall, Evans, you want to talk about a way to try to beat that Seattle defense? Getting those types of weapons would definitely help. Okay, first purchase is in for a Bay Area drinking team shirt. We are going to give raffle tickets to Sean Berry. 10 raffle tickets to Sean Berry for buying a Bay Area drinking team shirt. Shout out to Sean. Leaking Albie with a $2 super chat. Jeannie, thanks for making it rain. She, of course, gets some raffle tickets as well. Should the Eagles sign a solid tight end to Bird Gang? So here's what I think the Eagles do and should do. Try to bring back Dallas Goedert. See what his market is. If you can bring him back, short-term deal, give him some solid money, and then draft a developmental tight end for the future who can eventually take over for Goedert, I would really like that. And you think about Goedert, right? He was drafted in 2018. Zach Ertz was still on the team. Brent Selleck was still on the team when Zach Ertz got drafted in the second round out of Stanford. So I do like a veteran being able to develop and bring along a young player. I think that would be a very sound strategy. And then those are your two tight ends right there, Leaking Albie, if you get my drift there. Terrell Thomas, $10 super chat. 49ers real one. What would the trade for Jalen Carter look like? And is Trey Hendrickson still on the radar? What should be the priority? Is A.J. Brown possible after Mike Evans? I would say A.J. Brown not possible for the 49ers. I would say Trey Hendrickson, I'd be leaning on him not being an option for the Niners because here's my thing. Trey Hendrickson has been a better, more consistent, more productive player than Jalen Phillips. I know Jalen Phillips is younger, but Jalen Phillips has a long history of concerning health issues. Trey Hendrickson does not. He had a core muscle injury last year. That's not really a sign of the body breaking down. But if Trey Hendrickson, who had 17.5 sacks in 2023, 17.5 sacks in 2024, is seeing Jalen Phillips get $30 million per season, Trey Hendrickson and his agent better be hoping they can at least get 25 to 30. I think that's too expensive for the 49ers. I would like it, but it's too expensive. Lastly, what would a Jalen Carter trade cost? In my opinion, I think it starts with 2 first-round picks. Here's my thought process behind that. Jalen Carter is an all-pro already. He's 24, going on 25. He's one of the most disruptive and talented players in the National Football League. Micah Parsons, at 26, got 2 first-round picks. The soon-to-be 29-year-old Max Crosby got 2 first-round picks. I think Jalen Carter can get 2 first-round picks as well. But we are live on Eagles Now. And if you send in a super chat, it could be for $1 or $2. Give me what you would demand for a Jalen Carter trade, or drop a comment in the chat right now, and I will read your Jalen Carter trade packages live on the show. Terrell Thomas, thank you for that, man.
A couple signings just went down. Zane Gonzalez going to the Miami Dolphins, the kicker, on a 1-year deal.
Okay.
And the Giants re-signing linebacker Micah McFadden as well to a 1-year deal. So a couple smaller signings.
Cool. 75 Dignan, by the way, is Sean Barry. And so 75 just sent in a $5 super chat and said, "Yo, Chase, 75 Dignan, that's me, Sean Barry. Just bought a shirt."
There we go.
Man. Appreciate you. Okay. Intern Sirianni, there's that 75 super. Do you think the Eagles just believe they already have the pieces there to contend? Maybe they just build through the draft again. So, look, the Eagles are still one of the most talented teams in the NFL. Is there a lot of turnover from last year going into this year? For sure. That was the case going from when they won a Super Bowl in 2024 going into 2025. But here's the thought process for the Eagles. Last year, most cash spent on offense. Defense was one of the youngest and cheapest units in the National Football League. But here's what's happening with the Eagles defense. Jordan Davis just got an extension. Jalen Carter up for an extension. Next year, Quinyon Mitchell, Cooper DeJean, going to be up for extensions. Jalen Hunt, Nolan Smith, going to be extension eligible. So it's going to flip. It's going to go from the Eagles investing money into offense, drafting and developing on defense, to now investing money on defense, drafting and developing on offense. That's what the Eagles team strategy is right now. And you look at where Philadelphia is right now, the cap space is varying because we don't know officially how much money the Eagles are saving with that renegotiated deal with Michael Carter, but he's coming back, and it looks like the Eagles are going to save like $7 to $8 million there. They're also going to open up some money with the Jordan Davis extension once that is officially official on the books, once the new league year gets underway. Eagles have made no additions so far. Their losses, excellent players. Jalen Phillips, Nakobe Dean, Jahan Dotson got like $7+ million per year. Reed Blankenship, the safety.
What do we got?
Sure.
Oh, yeah, let's do it.
We'll
do it live.
So Jackson Durham, host of our Rams channel, Chiefs channel, crushing it on socials. He's a TikTok star. He's walking around all the studios asking us what our favorite deals are.
Let's see.
Let me think about that.
We can ask the people
quick.
as well. Let's see.
Yeah, what's the best free agency deal so far? I'll give y'all shout-outs for the Jalen Carter stuff in the chat on Eagles Now. Let me just think real quick. Best value signing. No, I'll come up with one here.
Yeah, no, I'll get one. I like Devin Lloyd for sure.
I got you.
All right, Chase, who's your favorite signing the team's made on day one of free agency?
It all comes down to health, But if he can stay healthy with the new contract details that we saw, Mike Evans to the Niners is a steal.
It is, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna go.
So I'm looking at the chat, and I was asking people what the trade packages would be for Jalen Carter. Brighton, 2 first-round picks. ULZ Will, minimum 2 firsts, maybe a third. 2 firsts and a competent edge or DT from Davis Corey. 2 first-round picks, a player to be named later, and cash for Jalen Carter, Carol Hosey. It's kind of like a baseball trade. Andrew Nathan, my man. Schrager said Eagles fans relax. March and April is Howie season. Eagles have some moves in their holster. I agree. This time last year, the Eagles didn't sign anybody, but today, last year, they made, on day 2 of free agency, 2 trades. So we'll see.
All right, it's probably going to be a popular answer, but I think I got mine.
Let's see what you got,
hold
Chip.
on. Do we got another one? Hold on. See my Twitter blow up. Let's go.
All right, Chip. What was your favorite signing your team did on day 1?
Probably a popular answer, but the Devin Lloyd signing for Carolina, a steal at $15 million per year.
So Chip's favorite signing for one of our social videos as the social team is going around. Devin Lloyd, $15 million per year to be the man in the middle at that backer spot for Carolina. That's a good move. Yeah,
I was kind of going through, recapping everything. I mean, I do like the Elijah Vera Tucker signing. Now, he was hurt last year, but
yeah, that's not a bad one.
Good young player. Other ones I liked that weren't obviously if it's a small move, it's trying to find guys that actually got paid a little bit. I do like Reed Blankenship going to Houston.
Reed Blankenship for $8.25 is a good deal to Houston. The Eagles could have afforded that easily.
No doubt. The Illuminor is a good value. Honestly, I know our Falcons host doesn't like it because he hates Tua, and not like Tua's a good quarterback.
Vetman.
But look, Vetman.
Yeah.
I mean, not a bad move. There's really no downside to it. I also like the Jalen Thompson signing for the Cowboys.
Okay.
Getting Jalen Thompson, the safety, at $11 million a year. I think he's been one of the more under-talked about safeties in the league playing for Arizona. I like that move.
Yeah, Jalen Thompson. At first, I thought it was a big deal. Then I saw the financials, and I was like, okay, that's not too bad, actually.
Yeah, only $11 a year. What do the Bengals pay for?
And Christian Parker, it's a history of developing DBs, so.
Yeah, Brian Cook got some good money. The worst signing might be Zion Johnson. Getting 3 years, basically $50 million from the Browns.
Yeah.
Yikes.
That and Quay Walker were head scratchers. Alontae Taylor getting $20 million per year was also pretty crazy.
Yeah, that was crazy.
James NTU shares something that I think a lot of people are in agreement with. Linderbaum was expensive, but very worth it. $27 million per year for a center is insane, right? He'd be the second highest paid right tackle in football, behind Penei Sewell, ahead of Lane Johnson. Obviously, tackles are more important than centers, but a couple things. Culture setter. Protecting your rookie quarterback. The third thing, it's only a 3-year deal. 3-year deal, a lot of guaranteed money, but you can get out of that if it ends up being a disaster or if he gets hurt. And I hope he stays healthy because I do want to see the Raiders be competitive. I think they'd be a really intriguing team that would make the NFL a lot more fun. Mr. Steve-O, thoughts and predictions on Greenlaw and Deebo. So I've been saying all offseason, right? Especially on offense for the Niners. This is a team that needs to get younger. They need to get faster. They need to get more explosive. And so that's why I was looking at an Alec Pierce. That's why I was a fan, still am, of a Romeo Doubs type of option because those players are in their mid-20s. So Mike Evans at 32, it is very risky. Him in his prime, great option for Kyle Shanahan. Great scheme fit with what Shanahan can do with him from a play design standpoint, how he complements the strengths of Brock Purdy and the routes that Ricky Pearsall runs, separation, red zone threat. It's great. but he's older. The Niners, I don't think, can afford to go Mike Evans at 32, an often injured, starting to get older Dre Greenlaw, and then an over-the-hill Deebo. One of the reasons why they've been so injured is because of the team age. So that would definitely be a concern for me. If I could choose one, it'd be Greenlaw. Vetman deal maybe because he just got a ton of coin from Denver. I'd go Greenlaw over Deebo if I could choose one of the two.
Yeah, Deebo at this point, man.
Yeah.
Didn't have a bad year, but
Didn't have a bad year, and when Terry McLaurin was dealing with all those injuries, Deebo was, I guess, the de facto number one. 72 catches, 727 yards, 5 touchdowns. He slimmed down a little bit, but what made him so special was the physicality, the ability to break tackles and then break away. And so when he starts to lose a little bit of speed, that's a concern. Not a great route runner, can't really separate. And those are things that the Niners wideouts have struggled with, and why the Niners have started to pivot off of wide receivers who can't beat man and who can't separate. Mike Evans, when you look at his separation numbers in 2024, number 2 in the NFL. Behind Brandon Ayuk.
Leak and Albie with another one.
Leak and Albie. Would signing Tariq Woolen affect the comp picks? Oh, boy. I don't know. That's like very complex how the comp pick formula works. It's like really nerdy stuff. I don't think so, but possibly. Possibly. John Wallace likes Leo Chenal. Not a bad player. If the Niners want to bring in a linebacker alongside Fred Warner, his name is not Jerry Greenlaw. His name is Kaden Elliss, who played excellent for Raheem Morris last year. And he's definitely one of the top free agents available. Did Bosa sign yet? No, he did not. For the Eagles, 2 pass rushers at the edge spot under contract for next year. Nolan Smith, Jalen Hunt. They've got some work to do at edge rusher. Jonathan Grenard would be a great trade. I think Trey Hendrickson is too expensive because if they're not going to pay Jalen Phillips $30 million per year, I don't think they're going to pay Trey Hendrickson something close to that. So you look at that secondary market. You look at Bradley Chubb. You look at a Joey Bosa. You look at a Jonathan Grenard trade. Those are the types of moves that I think Howie is scouring right now. The Sports Corner, Tanner McKee for Jonathan Grenard. For Minnesota, they get a young quarterback to build around with a lot of upside. He's on a very affordable contract for 2026. You save a bunch of money if you're the Vikings, which is what they're doing right now because they're so over the cap. I don't know how Kwesi messed that up so much. But McKee for Grenard is a fascinating trade. Is Sam Howell still under contract? Let's see. So Sam Howell is an unrestricted free agent. But Sam Howell has a lot of starting experience. Could you bring him back as a backup, draft a rookie quarterback if you trade away Tanner McKee and you get Jonathan Grenard? That would be a fascinating one.
Grenard's a good player, man.
Yeah, Grenard's really good. Can play in a 4-3, can play in a 3-4. I think he would really complement some of the other players along the Eagles' defensive line. My boy Mike Oliver in the building on the chase down. What's up, Mike? Was he talking about Dre Greenlaw there, just not healthy? But he's special? Or are you talking about Kaden Elliss from Atlanta? Mike Oliver's a Falcons fan. He'd have a Kaden Elliss scouting report. Kaden Elliss was great for Atlanta last year. 59 tackles solo, 3.5 sacks, 1 forced fumble, 1 pick. Started his career with New Orleans. Really didn't do much. But the last 3 years with Atlanta, 122 tackles, 151 tackles, 107 tackles. Obviously, that's total. His final year with New Orleans, 7 sacks. And then with Atlanta the last 3 years, 4, 5, 3.5. So he can blitz a little bit. Passes defended the last 3 years, 3.36. Forced a couple of fumbles. Has a couple of picks. And I remember Jeff Ulbrich, the Falcons defensive coordinator, who turned around that defense overnight. I mean, they were god-awful in 2024. Really solid in 2025, said it'd be difficult to imagine not having Kaden Elliss, something along these lines. And it would take multiple players to replace him. Crazy bloodline, too, with the Elliss family. Dad, NFL player. 3 sons, NFL players. Mike Oliver, just a guy that is all over the field. Exactly. He's just a baller. Joe G in the chat on the chase down. Dre brings the violent energy to the defense that the Niners lacked last year. We've got 42 people watching on the chase down, brand new channel. Almost 600 people watching live on Eagles. About 600 people watching live on Niners. Let's go. Thanks to everybody for being here. Day 2, NFL free agency. A slow start to the day.
Yeah, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. Let's get some moves going, baby.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what we could talk about on the Eagles front. Friend of the show, E.J. Smith, went to Temple with him, said Devontae Smith could be due for a new contract. Quote, there's a reason for Devontae to feel like it's probably time to rework his deal sooner rather than later. What, they just gave him an extension prior to 2024. Brandon Lee Galton, Bleeding Green Nation. Feels like the longer he goes unsigned, the more likely it is that Dallas Goedert returns to the Eagles. Not sure the free agent tight end contracts so far have really helped his market. Not a bad point there.
We got a signing. Dean Leonard.
Dean Leonard.
The Chargers.
1 year, $2 million with the Chargers.
Big time. Another super chat coming in on Niners here. A little 5-piece from Francisco.
Francisco Avila. Does anyone really know what the Niners are doing? What's the real plan here? It feels like Groundhog Day every year they do this. Did you miss the Mike Evans signing yesterday? They signed a backup swing tackle who played pretty well when Will Campbell was hurt last season for a team that was in the Super Bowl. The Mike Evans contract is a steal. He's getting $14 million per year, $16 million in guaranteed money. It's a really sound contract. It's pretty much a 1-year deal. For a guy who's a future Hall of Famer who fits the scheme well, of course, age, injuries, a little bit of a concern, but he's been in the league 12 years. The first 11 years of his career, won over 1,000 yards. Only player to ever do that in NFL history. 11 straight years of more than 1,000 yards. Think about how crazy and insane that is. So I like the move, especially with the financials. At first, it was reported as a 3-year deal worth $60 million, $20 million per year. It's even better than that. Alec Pierce got $29 million. Brandon Ayuk was making $30. And the money allocated to Ayuk and the money saved by voiding his guarantees is going to Mike Evans. All right. Peter Schrager, Dan Orlovsky debating Kyler Murray or Daniel Jones. That's a good question. Who would you rather have as your quarterback, Kyler Murray or Daniel Jones? I think a lot of people would go Kyler Murray.
It's tough with Jones coming off the
Wait, what did
Achilles.
Schrager just report? Schrager just reported a deal.
I think he just said Micah McFadden back to the Giants, which already happened.
Oh, okay. All right, here's a look at our Super Chat battle. 49ers report, thanks to Jeannie Wyatt and 75 Dignan, up to 192. Eagles now at 15. Niners report yesterday got 1,000. Eagles now got 500.
Let's have another day today, man. Let's have another day. Status of Braden Mann. I mean, got to bring him back.
Yeah, I think that's an important free agent for the Eagles to bring back. But like Eddie Pinheiro, for instance, got $4+ million to be a kicker. Kicker more important than punter. If Braden Mann wants $4 million, let him go. I mean, you can sign a punter for cheap.
How about this from Connor Hughes? Covers the Jets Giants. All signs point towards Geno Smith returning to the Jets.
Oh, my gosh. Geno Smith back to the Jets. His preferred destination was the Dolphins, but they signed Malik Willis. I like that Malik Willis deal. I thought Malik Willis was going to get $30+ million per year. It's less than that. It's not the Sam Darnold deal. That Sam Darnold deal by John Schneider, a flex.
Couple more supers coming in.
More super chats coming in. Dobro at the 5 on Eagles. We'll get that popped up as well. And there it is. What do you think the Eagles' next move will be? Thanks for the live coverage. And thanks. Love the coverage. Oh, Dobro. I appreciate you being here. We're going to talk Eagles here in a moment. I'm kind of putting together some notes for an Eagles video that we're going to put up on the channel. What do I think the Eagles' next move will be? I think it could be re-signing Dallas Goedert. If I can make a guess, it's re-signing Dallas Goedert. Is that the only super chat?
We got another on Niners here.
Another super chat on Niners. Card guy with another super on Eagles, too. $2. F the Eagles. Joseph, thanks for watching the Krug show when I'm on there. Appreciate that. Jeannie sent in that 100 earlier. 75 sent in that 50. I owe another Shambong. So, cheers. I'll go 50% off again. If somebody sends in a 50, we'll spin the wheel and we'll take down another beer bong. Usually 100, we'll do it for 50. Card guy. Omar Cooper had a top 30 visit with the Eagles. A.J. Brown gone. I wouldn't look too much into that. I think addressing wide receiver is important regardless for the Eagles. They lost Jahan Dotson, and I know that a lot of people, including me, have said, okay, Darius Cooper could compete for wide receiver 3. You draft Omar Cooper, and he's your wide receiver 3. You're taking Omar Cooper over Darius Cooper. A battle of the Coopers. Also remember that Johnny Wilson is going to be coming back. The Eagles really missed him as a blocker last year.
Defensive tackle A'Shawn Robinson released by Carolina.
Okay. Yeah, Chip, you're not going to have to build any of this, but
I see, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Block Ice, you missed it. DJ Moore did get traded to Buffalo. You can see we got the ticker at the top going off. Just cycling through all the deals, even going back a couple weeks, some re-signings that happened. So, yes, yeah, Mr. Block Ice is catching up on it right now. LMFAO, Jake Moody to Washington. Yeah, he's back there with the Commanders. Ayuk will end up with the Commanders by the end of the week.
Yeah, he'll get released tomorrow. That's the start of the new league year.
They really need receiver help, man. I've seen some chatter that, they add a receiver here in free agency. They could be a sneaky Jeremiah Love destination in the draft with teams like, the Saints, the Chiefs addressing running back. So watch out, Commanders possibly going with Love. What if Ayuk goes to Baltimore? Certainly could consider that. They don't have
Baltimore would be interesting. I think Denver would be an intriguing team. I'm trying to think of other wide receiver needy teams. The New England Patriots had a lot of interest in him a couple of years ago. If they can't land A.J. Brown, maybe that could be something there.
What else we got? Some people talking Justin Tucker. We're good there, man. We don't need to talk about Justin Tucker. Andrew Nathan in the building once again.
Andrew Nathan.
Monday morning after the draft where Howie really shines. Signings don't count to comp picks then. Not a lot of guys available then, but for sure. Ooh, Joseph, stat predictions for Mike Evans next season. Really depends if he plays every game, misses some games. I could see him getting back over if he stays healthy, that 1,000-yard mark for sure. I could see something like, again, it's tough depending on how healthy he stays, maybe like 1,100 yards. He's a double-digit touchdown kind of threat with how, much of a threat he is in the red zone, big play threat. So I'm going to say, if he stays healthy, let's go like 1,100 yards, maybe 1,200 yards. I'm going to go 10 touchdowns for Evans.
The Kid MD.
Oh!
$50 super chat makes it rain here on the show. We'll get that super chat up here in a second.
Let's go.
Let's go. The Kid MD dropping the 50 burger.
Here it is. Making it rain.
Marcus Wilson. That's the Kid MD. What do you think? We signed Tariq Woolen, trade away Green for some draft capital, roll with the Hyena, Woolen, Stout as our top 3 corners. Maybe throw in a signing of Brisker if the money ain't too much. I like a brand new secondary for us by Green. I love that. I mean, keep in mind, I think this Niners defense is in a pretty good spot. Like, you're getting back Nick Bosa, Fred Warner, Mykel Williams. Those are 3 really good players. Continued development of Alfred Collins, CJ West. I have named corner as a sneaky need for the Niners if they don't like Renardo Green, if they want to move off of Renardo Green. Tariq Woolen and Jaquan Brisker would be phenomenal signings for the Niners. Then in the draft, you focus on wide receiver, get another one in there. You focus on offensive line. You draft another pass rusher. You could be in a really good spot. All right, with that 50, I did say I'd take down the Shambong and we would spin that wheel. So let's spin the wheel.
Let's do it. Last time, 75 Dignan got 10 raffle tickets. This time, Chase going to have to get in the bag here, baby.
Uh-oh. So it's the Kid MD. I got to freestyle the username. Got to freestyle the username for the Kid MD. Super chat coming in from the Kid MD. You see me. Live on the Niners Report. Eagles now. Chase down. No need to frown. It's day 2 of NFL free agency. And it's a little bit slow. How many players the Eagles lost yesterday? It's a little bit of a blow. But you got to have a lot of trust in Howie. He's a magician. He operates a salary cap like a technician. For the 49ers, they signed Mike Evans. They call him Godzilla. He could take the top off of the defense and hit the defense with the blow like Thrilla in Manila. There you go, the Kid MD.
Woo!
I thought that was a solid freestyle for the Kid MD.
Hey, Raffy said, damn, bro's a rapper.
So when we freestyle your username, the first bar, I got to include the name. And then we go from there. So that's what we did.
Yeah. Bars, baby. On the wrong mic.
Bars. Grade the freestyle, A, B, C, D, or F. Supreme Rudy. I see you in the chat. Cool Hand Luke talking about the Niners in an Eagles chat is cringe. Well, I'm live on both channels. Combined more than 300,000 subscribers. Plus, I'm live on my own new channel. So, we're getting work in here. Mr. Block Ice, Mr. Chase, you made my day. I say it one and only, FBA. Yes, let's go. If you send in another $50 super chat, I will freestyle your name here on the show as well. Terrell Thomas, another $5 super chat. But first,
it is time.
It is time.
Flash deal, baby. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We got a flash deal.
15 minutes on the clock. Flash deal. Eagles Now t-shirts available now for only $15. $10 off for the next 15 minutes. Get your Eagles Now shirts. Flash deal for the next 15. For the next 15, Eagles Now shirts available for $15. We're doing the same on the 49ers Report. 49ers Report shirts available for just $15. Chatsports.com/49ers You know what I saw yesterday? So many Cowboys and Giants shirts were getting sold. They did that yesterday. I want to beat them. Show me that you love the show, that you're a real one, and you love the birds, and get an Eagles Now shirt and beat up on the Giants and Cowboys. You know what I also saw? Ram shirts going crazy on the Niners side. Seahawks shirts going crazy. Get your Niners shirts. Anybody who makes a purchase, I'm giving you shout outs right here on the show. I'm keeping tabs on it right now. Flash sale. Link is in the chat. Chatsports.com/Eagles Now. Chatsports.com/49ers $15 shirts. If you want to rep the Niners, rep the Eagles, and rep the show, it goes a long way in supporting everything that we do as well.
How about this pretty notable signing here? Braden Smith off the tackle, former Colts, signing with Houston.
He was one of our top 25 free agents heading into today. 2-year deal with Houston. They traded away Titus Howard. They're rolling with a lot of young offensive linemen. They traded away Juice Scruggs as well to Detroit. And the offensive line has been a massive, massive problem for Houston. Who's going to make a purchase? Across the company at Chat Sports, there hasn't been a purchase since 75 Dignan at 12.22. 75 Dignan just purchased a shirt. 49ers Report shirt for 75 Dignan. Supreme Rudy, do you wear snapbacks? I have a hat I'd love to send you. I do. You want to pop up my email down below? Supreme Rudy, if you send me an email, I will send you my address so that you can send it right here to the office. Chase@chatsports.com. Chase@chatsports.com. Email's at the bottom of the screen. Okay, so for Braden Smith, it's a 2-year, $25 million deal, according to Adam Schefter. $13.5 million in fully guaranteed money. Again, a move that Houston needed to make.
Shout out to Terrell Thomas for this $5 super chat.
Terrell Thomas, Jair Brown, or Renardo Green, first round and the second round for Jalen Carter in the third. I'll tell you this, Jair Brown, Renardo Green, not getting it done for Jalen Carter. You'd have to put some crazy draft capital into there. And you see Carol Hosey in the chat on Eagles. T-shirt is high quality, very comfortable. It is. Raphael just bought a 49ers Report shirt. A black one for him, a red one for 75 Dignan. Is anybody going to get an Eagles Now shirt? Come on now. $15 T-shirt deal ends in 11 minutes. Once the buzzer sounds, I've got a lot of Eagles thoughts, and we'll rip an Eagles video that we'll put up on the channel here momentarily.
Some people are saying that the deal's not working. You have to add it to your cart, and then the deal will show once you add it to your cart. And
good
Dennis is asking for the link. I'll put those links again there in the chat. So some people say it does say $24.99, but once you add it to your cart, you'll see the discount applied.
Yes. Because I saw it come in for Raphael and Sean. The discount did work. So add the shirt to your cart. And then the discount will hit.
Under 10 minutes to go. All right, let's see. We have 487 people watching live on Eagles, 594 over on Niners. We got to get those likes numbers up. We're having a little bit of a competition across the company right now, and man, some of these channels going crazy. Giants is at 700 plus likes. Raiders is at over 1,300. Cowboys over 500. We're lacking a little bit here. So let's get it going. Hit that thumbs up icon. Like the stream, especially if you want to see the Eagles or Niners make a move, because we gotta get some juice flowing here, baby. Let's get it. We should be able to get to 300 at least.
Let's go.
On each channel.
Let's go. Rafi Goldenberg, I would get it, but I'm broke. That's why we're giving you the deal of $15 for these shirts. 8 minutes and change left on the deal.
Up to 215 on Eagles, 197 on Niners. Let's get it going. You know what? I'll make a deal with the people. Once we get to 300 likes on each show, I'll give away one free raffle ticket to somebody on each stream. Once we get to 300 likes on each stream, I'll give away a free raffle ticket to somebody random in the chat on each show.
Let's go.
Texans made another move as well, signing linebacker Jake Hummel. So a couple moves here for Houston.
Ooh, Trent Williams update from Schrager. Let's see here. Brian Stoyak. Hopefully I pronounced that right. Just got an Eagles Now shirt. James Landis got an Eagles Now shirt. Jeannie Wyatt got a 49ers Report shirt. Shout out to everybody for supporting the show. Greatly appreciate it. Does the 49ers shirt come in red? Let me see here. 75. Yes, it comes in red. It comes in red. There's the red version, 75. I just put it in the chat. And then Eagles is available in black and Kelly green. Dingy dongy, licky lacky. I told my buddy I would do a shot for every Howie move. Been sober AF for days, broskies. Oh, the hat. Yeah, I thought you got the red shirt. The hat is only available in black. Yeah, only available in black right now. Grayson Sanders getting a 49ers Report shirt. Shout out to you, my guy. Is that faithful to the Bay? 925. Pretty much what Schrager and Schefter are saying about Pat McAfee, or on Pat McAfee's show about Trent Williams is, yeah, look, you know, they're trying to rework that deal. And if they can't, obviously that would cause some problems, put a wrench into the plans for 2026. And that could make Trent Williams available. Yesterday, though, I was talking about one of the teams that I thought made a lot of sense for Trent Williams, Houston Texans. They just signed Braden Smith. You see the move here to my right to a 2-year, $20 million deal, $13.5 million in guaranteed money. Schefter said it could be a money issue where Trent Williams is looking for more, but the Niners don't want to give him more money. Schefter said a deal for Trey Hendrickson could materialize. Three minutes left on the $15 t-shirt deal.
Last chance.
Last chance.
$10 off.
$10 off. Once the buzzer sounds on that, I'm going to do an Eagles video. Checking back in on the chase down. 36 people watching over there. Shout out to Jacko Chases, Susan, Yoshi, Kid Clientele. Good looks over there. In case you missed it, I launched a new football show. It's called The Chase Down. I'm going to throw the sub link into the chat on Eagles Now and on the 49ers Report. Trying to get to 2,000 subscribers by the end of the day. So I'm going to throw the link in the chat here. Under 2 minutes to go on the $15 t-shirt deal. So I'm putting the chase down link in the chat on Niners. Subscribe to my new NFL show. Nothing is changing with anything I'm doing on Eagles Now or on the 49ers Report. I'm just doing additional content, talking about the NFL and college football on a national level. Next step in my career, of course, trying to further expand my brand. Just feeling motivated after being at the Super Bowl and at the Combine.
Under a minute to go on the t-shirt deal. Last chance. I'm going to throw those links in there one more time. You will have a few minutes of buffer to go actually get the stuff.
Chase Down sub link is also in the chat on Eagles Now. But focus on those t-shirts. Let's see. Victoria Penn. Eagles Now shirt. Shout out to Victoria. And everything's updated on that front. And with the 49ers Report shirt right before the buzzer. $15 t-shirt deal ends in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Again, a little bit of a buffer zone. But show merch and the shirts available for just $15. You've got to add it to your cart in order to get that discount. All right. A little bit of a slow time right now, so I want to talk some Eagles here.
Couple supers coming in real quick on Eagles. Shout out to y'all.
Geno Smith officially to the Jets.
Oh, it's official.
It's a trade. It's a trade.
Oh, wow. So they never actually officially cut him.
Romeo Doubs to the Patriots. Romeo Doubs to the Patriots. Does that take New England out of the A.J. Brown trade sweepstakes? Doubs to New England, and then Geno Smith traded from the Raiders to the Jets. Jets get Geno and a 2026 7th-round pick. The Raiders get a 2026 6th-round pick. 3 years, $60 million for Romeo Doubs. I like it at $20 million per.
Geno.
I like it at $20 million per.
Let me let him know that we're going to do this cut here in a sec.
Oh, you're messaging about that?
Yeah.
Sounds good. So the Jets knew, according to Shefty, that obviously Geno Smith was going to get released. So they got in conversations with Geno and the Raiders about making a trade. Contract's going to be restructured. That was going to be my next comment. And then Romeo Doubs to the Patriots. That's a big domino right there. Adam Schefter said, I don't think that Romeo Doubs to the Patriots rules out A.J. Brown, but it diminishes the possibility.
Do you want to add just like the Doubs?
Yeah,
thing
I'll add a
AJ?
Doubs portion here. Romeo Doubs. We'll go L3 Romeo Doubs as well.
Yep. Cool. There we go. We're getting some action now. All right, cool. Searle's got us.
Let's see here. Some big news breaking.
What is everybody's thoughts on this Doubs signing? I like it for the Patriots.
Yeah, I like it for New England. Again, I think he's a really good player, really good route runner. Can be utilized in a couple of different ways.
Geno had interest from the Vikings as well.
All right. Pat McAfee smoking a cigar?
Is he? It looked like he was.
What's the smoke coming out there?
He has to be.
Or is that some incense burning?
Or it looks like he's holding something in his left hand. Get us some cigars.
Geno Smith, according to Diana Rossini, already in New Jersey. He's at the Jets facility today taking a physical. Trade is already official. Wow. So former Eagles quarterbacks coach Frank Reich, former head coach of the Colts, Panthers, last year Stanford, is the OC now with the Jets. And Geno Smith will be their quarterback in 2026. Raiders are paying a lot of Geno Smith's salary to facilitate the trade. 4-year deal for Romeo Doubs.
4 now?
Yeah, it looks like a 4-year deal according to Ian Rappaport.
We're getting a lot of different reports here.
Yeah. Dude, he's only 25 years old. Really good player, man. Really good player.
So Rap says 4 for 70. Breer says 3 for 51 with a max value of 60.
Huh. All right, let me actually run to use the bathroom, then we'll do this Eagles video.
Yep.
Run to use the bathroom, then I'll be right back. We'll do this Eagles video. We'll react to Romeo Doubs. We'll talk some Eagles, and we'll talk some Niners, of course, after that, and talk about NFL free agency.
I can get to some of these super chats that just came in as well. Got a few on Eagles Sports Corner. Does the A.J. Brown trade help extend the defensive guys? I mean, yeah, it would. It would free up some money in the future down the line. Even if they take a hit this year, it would help clear up some cash down the line for some of these defensive guys. So certainly something Howie's thinking about. Another one from Sports Corner. Do you like Omar Cooper to the Eagles? I like Omar Cooper a lot. I think he should 100% be a first-round pick. Now, if you don't trade A.J. Brown, I don't think that you go receiver in the first round if you're the Eagles. I think you have other areas of need, edge, tackle, even corner, that I'd rather go in round 1 than receiver. And it's a deep receiver class. You can get some good players in the second, third round, but I would like the idea of Omar Cooper on the Eagles. I think he's a really good player, man. Really, really good player. He's starting to rise up a little bit. Al Blossom also sent in a $2 super chat on Eagles, so appreciate that. And then Josh Milgram over on Niners. Well, do you think the Niners will sign Bosa or Hendrickson? I would be surprised if it is Hendrickson. So the latest on Trey Hendrickson is that he was looking for $30+ million on his contract on a per-year basis, and no teams are willing to reach that number. Obviously, the Niners are not going to reach that number. No team is. I think Joey Bosa is probably a little more likely. Going to be a lot cheaper than Hendrickson. Not quite the player Hendrickson is, but there's also some risk with Hendrickson. You pay him a lot of money, injury prone. At least, had that injury last year. He's getting older. Now, of course, Joey Bosa is also older as well. I'd be surprised if it's the Niners for Hendrickson. I still think he gets somewhere in the low to mid-20s. But if it's a one-year prove-it deal, potentially. Potentially. It really just depends what other teams are interested in and what his market is. Because clearly he misread his market looking for $30+ million. Yeah, no one's paying Hendrickson $30+. That was the report that came out that no team was willing to do that, and that's what Hendrickson wanted. That's what Hendrickson wanted. Yeah, so we're getting some different reports here on the Doubs contract details. Now Jeremy Fowler says it's 4 years for 80. A lot of different. It's a source off right now. Now we got so we got Rapp saying it's 3 for 70. We got Breer saying it's 3 for 51, max 60. And now we got Fowler saying it's 4 for 80. What is going on? What's the contract? We have no idea out here.
In the words of Mike Tyson, sign the contract, big boy. Sign the contract. All right, we'll talk some Eagles here. We'll talk some Niners after that. We can give you a Trent Williams update, plus the Niners getting some really good news from the NFL with some of their comp picks being rewarded. And this is something that the Niners have really mastered as an organization going back to 2020. So we'll get into that here in just a second. Cool. Sweet. Yeah, I'll send him it. I sent him sent the thumbnail stuff in Parati. All right. We'll talk some Eagles here. Then we'll talk some Niners. Also, thanks to everybody watching on the Chase Down. Subscribe over there. Cool. Let's get into it. Yep. Yo, what is going on, everybody? Welcome into the show. You're watching Philadelphia Eagles Now. Chase Sr. here with you. Thanks to everybody for supporting and watching our NFL free agency coverage. A lot of content on the show yesterday. We were live for 6 hours, put 3 videos up on the channel. We're live once again for day 2. And Philadelphia still has not yet made a move. But I'm going to tell Eagles fans to stop panicking, because this is kind of Howie Roseman's MO. We'll get to that. A lot of news happening across the NFL. We'll talk Dallas Goedert, Jalen Carter update. The New England Patriots just signed Romeo Doubs. What does that mean for the Patriots' pursuit of A.J. Brown? It's all coming up, but first, you know the drill. Anytime there's Eagles news, we're talking about it here on the show. So hit that subscribe button. And if you want more free agency coverage or nonstop Eagles talk, lock us in. Hit that subscribe button as we approach 150,000 subscribers. So let's begin here in talking about the Eagles. The start of free agency this year, very similar to the start of free agency last year. And I know that fans can get very tied to players, and it can be emotional seeing a lot of players, especially those who have helped the Eagles get to Super Bowls and win Super Bowls, leave. But this is the tough business aspect of the National Football League. And so 4 starters yesterday left the Eagles. They made $116 million in guaranteed money. Last year on day 1 of free agency, we remember what happened. Josh Sweat, focal point for the Eagles for years, got $19 million per year from the Arizona Cardinals. Milton Williams, great in that Super Bowl against Kansas City. Patrick Mahomes is still having nightmares. Got $26 million per year from the New England Patriots. So, yes, March and April traditionally is known as Howie season. But outside of a couple of years ago when the Eagles signed Saquon Barkley, Howie kind of lets all of the other teams make the big splash moves early in free agency. He lets other teams overpay. They set the market, and then Howie is able to make his Howie type of deals, and he's able to save a lot of coin and sign players to these contracts, which end up being steals. There's also this with the Eagles, right? You think about where they are as an organization. 2025, the most cash spent on offense in the National Football League. That's why the offensive performance last year under Kevin Patullo was so unacceptable. That's why the Eagles are changing the scheme and the play caller. The Eagles last year on defense, one of the top units in the NFL. Last 2 years, they've combined to be the number 2 total defense in the NFL. But last year, one of the youngest defensive units, one of the cheapest defensive units. That soon is going to change. Cooper DeJean, Quinyon Mitchell, Nolan Smith, Jalix Hunt, Jalen Carter, all up for contract extensions soon. And some now. Jordan Davis on Saturday got $26 million per year. So while the Eagles have lost a lot of players, and we'll talk about them coming up, and it's tough to see quality players go, it speaks to the roster talent acquisition of Howie Roseman, but Philadelphia is also trying to keep some of those players that I talked about here and budget money for those guys. And so what the Eagles are going to do in turn is start to draft and develop on offense. And we're going to see over the next couple of years a new era for offensive skill players and offensive players in general on that side of the pill. Now, let's talk about some of the players who the Eagles lost. Jalen Phillips. He got a 4-year, $120 million contract with Carolina yesterday. $80 million in guaranteed money. That is $30 million per season. The Eagles wanted to retain Jalen Phillips. He was a part of their offseason plan. He was a part of my perfect free agency plan. I had heard at the Combine, Eagles were interested in bringing him back. They wanted to bring him back at around $20 million. $30 million for a guy who medically retired in college due to a neck injury, has torn his ACL and Achilles at the NFL level. Let him walk. Let Carolina overpay. That's fine. Now, do the Eagles have a need at pass rusher? Yes, they do, but they can address it. Trade for Jonathan Grenard, as I talked about yesterday. Sign a Bradley Chubb. Address it in the NFL draft. A couple of different avenues there. Maybe they pay some coin for Trey Hendrickson, although if Phillips got $30 million per year, Hendrickson's probably like, yeah, I should get something close to that as well. For Jahan Dotson, I never thought he was going to come back to the Eagles. He got paid. He signed with Atlanta on a 2-year, $15 million contract. That's good for $7.5 million per season. He got $10 million in guaranteed money. The Eagles were never paying that. They would have given him a vet min maybe, but you think about his usage in this offense. He was the pre-snap motion guy. Outside of that, didn't get a lot of targets. And so now the Eagles could draft a wide receiver in the first round, second round. They have a top 30 visit set with Omar Cooper out of Indiana. And maybe Omar Cooper can be the number 3 wide receiver alongside A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. Maybe Omar Cooper won't be drafted by the Eagles. Maybe Darius Cooper competes for that wide receiver 3 spot. And Darius Cooper, or even Omar Cooper, would be cheaper than a Jahan Dotson. Remember, the Eagles also like Johnny Wilson as a blocker. How about Nakobe Dean? He has been a focal point of this Eagles defense and this Eagles culture, but he's dealt with injuries. Every year he's been in the NFL, he's had some type of injuries, a little bit of an undersized backer. He's a great spiritual leader, and the Eagles defense plays differently when he's on the field. He is a tone setter. He's excellent against the run. He's great and elite as a blitzer. He's really good in coverage. Eagles had interest in bringing him back, but they also have Jahad Campbell, who's a much better athlete and has more upside and potential. They have Jeremiah Trotter Jr., who has a lot of the same qualities that Nakobe Dean has. And the Eagles weren't paying Nakobe Dean 3 years, $36 million, $12 million per year, and $20 million in guaranteed money. The Reed Blankenship one is interesting. He got $8.25 from Houston. He had made under like $6 million in his entire NFL career. Former UDFA. He didn't make a lot of money with the Eagles. But when you compare what the Eagles paid him last year to $8.25, that's a drastic difference. So the Eagles could have afforded Reed Blankenship, no doubt about it, at that price tag of $8.25 per season. But compared to what they had been paying him, that's a lot of money as far as the difference there. I do think it's pretty telling that the defense that I thought was the best in the NFL last year looks at Reed Blankenship as a starter. I've seen a lot of people say, Reed Blankenship isn't that good of a player. D'Amico Ryans and the Texans have the best defense in the NFL. And they just signed Reed Blankenship as a starter. He's a good player, made big play after big play. You don't have to worry about his character at all. But good for Reed Blankenship. The Eagles weren't willing to pay that price. Sign C.J. Gardner-Johnson for a cheaper deal. This is a deep safety class where you can find a very affordable player at a fraction of the cost of what Blankenship is making. So, a lot of Eagles fans on social media, it's a very loud place, are very vocal saying, what is Howie doing? You look at some of the money that some of the teams spent yesterday. The Raiders, $281.5 million. Haven't won a playoff game since 2003. Tennessee Titans, $219.5. When was the last time they were a true Super Bowl contender? They got the number 1 seed with Ryan Tannehill, but come on now. The Washington Commanders, $209.5 million. The New Orleans Saints, $193.2. Carolina Panthers, $172.5. Indianapolis Colts, $136. New York Giants, $130. Jets, $122.5. Steelers, $117. Bears, $117. Chiefs, $113.75. Bengals, $102.5. A lot of overpays on that list. And of those teams, how many of them have been true Super Bowl contenders of late? The Kansas City Chiefs, that's it. The Eagles, they spent $0 yesterday. The Packers, 3.75. They're always competitive. The Bills, Super Bowl contender, 25.1. The Lions, Super Bowl contender, 25 mil. The Ravens, 30 mil. They did acquire Max Crosby. Jags, really good team, 33 mil. So you see what I'm getting at there, right? Don't panic. If there is somebody to trust, it's this man here to my right, in General Manager Howie Roseman. As far as a Jalen Carter update, there is a difference between teams calling about Jalen Carter and the Eagles shopping Jalen Carter. If the Eagles are indeed shopping Jalen Carter, red flags, siren emojis. Because the Eagles have been very insistent on paying their own players. They invest in their own. They draft, develop, and reward the players who they have invested in. If they're shopping Jalen Carter, that tells me they don't trust him and they don't want to give him a deal. But it seems like the Eagles know he's a star player with elite talent and he is a priority as far as locking up to a long-term deal. And Bill Colorado of 97.5 The Fanatic had this to say on the radio, I believe yesterday. The Jalen Carter trade rumors are anything but. It is the complete opposite. They are in discussions for the long-term contract extension for Jalen Carter as we speak. So I would not be shocked if we get that news in the next 24 hours that Jalen Carter, just like Jordan Davis, enters into a long-term contract with the Eagles. Elliott Shore-Parks also said they will sign Jalen Carter to a long-term deal. And that's what I want the Eagles to do. It is very rare that you come across a player with this type of ability, this type of talent, and this type of potential who is 24, about to be 25 years old. You don't get rid of players like that unless you have some serious questions, whether it be character or injuries. But if the Eagles invest in him, it tells you everything that you need to know. We'll talk Dallas Goedert, Omar Cooper, Romeo Doubs, and A.J. Brown coming up here in just a second. But if you want an Eagles Now shirt, get it now. We sold a bunch of these so far today on our live show. Get yours. You can rep the show. You can support the Birds. I'll be rocking these soon on air. I just wanted to look good for day 2 of free agency. But the logo is so clean. And if you are a true, real one, get an Eagles Now shirt. Available for only $24.99. Really high-quality shirts as well. Chatsports.com/EaglesNow. Chatsports.com/EaglesNow. Become a real one today and get an Eagles Now shirt. As for Dallas Goedert, I feel like with Goedert, the more that time wears on, the more likely it is that Dallas Goedert returns to the Eagles. And in free agency, you see a lot of overpays. You see market-setting deals. For instance, Tyler Linderbaum is getting $27 million per season from the Las Vegas Raiders. That's $9 million more than what Creed Humphrey was making and is making as the highest paid center in the NFL. That is a market reset. At the tight end position, though, I don't think the market has helped out Dallas Goedert if he was looking to get a bag. And in turn, I think this benefits the Eagles' chances of being able to retain Dallas Goedert. The most sound approach, bring back Dallas Goedert for $8 to $10 million per season. He's been a high-level tight end ever since coming into the league in 2018. You draft a tight end, you develop him, and then you have a better 1-2 punch at the tight end spot than what you've had with Dallas Goedert and Grant Calcaterra. Bring a tight end in who can catch balls but also block. Eli Stowers, really athletic. Kenyon Sadiq would be a first-round target. Sam Roush out of Stanford, huge, runs well, can block. Oscar Delt, Max Clare, solid options to look at in the draft. And there are all types of different tight ends that you can find day 1, day 2, and day 3. I just feel like the Dallas Goedert situation is turning into a positive one for the Eagles, where they're waiting out the market. Goddard hasn't gotten a lot of huge offers, and it increases the likelihood that Dallas Goedert could return to the Eagles. Ryan Fowler with this report, and this is the first official top 30 visit set for Philadelphia, that Indiana star wide receiver Omar Cooper Jr. is going to meet with the Eagles for a top 30 visit. Fernando Mendoza compared him to Deebo Samuel in his prime. Deebo Samuel in his prime was the best yak wide receiver in football statistically. He was a first-team All-Pro in 2021. His usage by Kyle Shanahan was fascinating. He was used as a running back, otherwise deemed as a wide back, inside, outside, and then creating routes to allow him to pick up yards after the catch, whether it be a bubble screen, whether it be a crosser. But Deebo has never been the most natural hands catcher or route runner, and he can't beat man. I think Omar Cooper is physical like Deebo, but he's got more natural hands, and he's a better route runner. And the play that he made to win the game against Penn State, climbed the ladder, went up and got it, snatched the ball out of the air, 2 feet down, big boy stuff. Be an interesting player at number 23 for the Eagles, which brings us to A.J. Brown. If the Eagles were to draft Omar Cooper Jr., does it signal that the Eagles do trade away A.J. Brown? Well, a couple different ways to look at this. It'd be hard to move off of A.J. because of the dead cap number. We've talked about that. But if the Eagles can't work out a trade in the lead up to the draft, what if they draft Omar Cooper at 23? Then that allows them to get an A.J. Brown replacement to soften the blow there. And then they could maybe trade A.J. Brown post June 1. Albert Breer had this report. We've mentioned how the Patriots, Chiefs, Chargers, Bills were the teams on A.J. Brown's wish list, and that New England appeared to be the only team from that group really on the idea of trading for the 28-year-old three-time All-Pro. He's been a three-time All-Pro with the Eagles in 4 years. That would seem to give the Patriots some leverage. But on the flip side, Brown is really the only top-shelf receiver on the trade market, which gives the Eagles leverage, or maybe putting those two elements together will just turn this into a staring contest. Time will tell. Breer reported that in a column this morning. What has happened? Well, the Bills traded for DJ Moore. They showed interest in AJ. The New England Patriots just signed Romeo Doubs. Does the signing of Romeo Doubs to New England impact their pursuit of AJ Brown? And is the asking price simply too high for AJ? And there are conflicting reports on what this deal is for Romeo Doubs, but I really like this move for New England. They released Stephon Diggs. He's over the hill. Back end of his career. Romeo Doubs is 25. He's ascending. Good route runner. Slippery in the open field. Can make plays downfield. I like him a lot. Does have some drop issues. Isn't the most physical after the catch. But if you get creative with how to design routes for him, Doubs is a fantastic player. He's wearing the Guardian cap because he's had 2 concussions. Both of them when his head hit the ground. A little bit of a concern, but that's why he's wearing the Guardian cap right now. He's signing with the Patriots on a 4-year, $68 million deal. Adam Schefter was on the Pat McAfee show, and he did say, I don't think this completely takes the Patriots out of the A.J. Brown trade sweepstakes, but it could impact that. We'll see. Like with anything, So much is up in the air right now, but blockbuster move for New England. They couldn't get Alec Pierce. They settled for Romeo Doubs. And what is that? $18 million per year? What is it? 48? 17 per year for Romeo Doubs. If it is that, that's a pretty damn good deal. Given that Alec Pierce got 29, and there's not much of a gap between Alec Pierce and Romeo Doubs. All right, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more free agency and offseason coverage right here on the show. Thanks for being a real one. And don't forget to keep it locked here on the channel, because whenever news comes in, we'll be talking about it. All right, 587 people watching on Eagles Now. Thank you, legends. 561 people watching live on the Niners Report. Thank you, legends. Romeo Doubs in 2025 set career highs in multiple key categories. 19th most receiving EPA, tied for second most touchdowns from an isolated alignment. That's route running, being able to separate and get open. Again, guy's got some shake and bake to his game. Diana Rossini, a few teams have called the San Francisco 49ers about quarterback Mac Jones, but many interested around the league describe their price as astronomical. Jordan Schultz, Daniel Jones, and the Colts in agreement on a long-term deal. Okay. Yeah. How about this, too, on Mike Evans? He has 27 touchdown catches on tight window throws over the past 10 seasons, 6 more than the next closest player in Devontae Adams. Faithful to the Bay. Trade Trent and a third of the Jags for Brian. For BTJ, Brian Thomas Jr. Man, he's such a good player. If there's not anything weird there, he's a dog. All right, let's see here.
How about my guy, Clemson legend, Isaiah Simmons, back to Carolina.
Okay.
Had that big blocked punt in that game against the Rams.
Yeah, that was iconic.
Unfortunately, couldn't pull it out, but Schefter. Talking about Trey Hendrickson.
Yep, Hendrickson for Schefter.
Said Hendrickson's been talking to a bunch of teams, but nothing there yet.
How about Geno Smith back to the Jets in case you're just joining us? Drafted by the Jets in 2013, first 4 years of his career with that team, coming out of West Virginia. Schefter with the journalistic touch. Now he's back to end his story. Now, in a good situation, Geno Smith isn't awful, but like, for Mina Kimes going into last year to say that Geno Smith is a top 10 quarterback, what are we doing? What are we doing? The sit down with Jeff Nadeau. Another $10 super chat. Jeff, I hope that you just watched the segment that we did. How long was that, Chip? Like 15 minutes? 18 minutes? I just did an 18-minute segment talking about this. So I hope that you were able to watch that. If not, scroll on back. But he says, bold strategy by the Eagles, let everybody walk and not sign anyone. This is what the Eagles did last year, too. Still had one of the more talented teams in the NFL. I will say, this is why it sucks that the Eagles were such a disaster in 2025, because they had all the talent in the world, a loaded roster. They blew such a great opportunity to repeat as Super Bowl champions in a year that was completely wide open. And if they were playing their best football, is Seattle going into Philly and winning? I'm not sure that they do. Outside of Seattle, I like the Eagles going up against any team if they were playing like they did in 2024. But day one of free agency always leads to so many overpays, and it is very loud and sexy for teams to make moves on the opening day of free agency. But very rarely are those teams the ones who are truly contending for championships. Raiders, $281.5 million yesterday. Titans, $229.5 million. Washington, $209.5 million. Saints, $193.2. Panthers, $172.2. Colts, $136. Giants, $130. Jets, $122. Steelers, $117. Bears, $117. Chiefs, $113.75. Bengals, $102.5. Raiders haven't won a playoff game since 2003. The Titans, have they won a playoff game since they beat Tom Brady in his final game in New England? Point is, they haven't been a true contender for a long time. The Commanders made it to the NFC Championship game 2 years ago in 2024. They got dusted by the Eagles, 55-burger. But it's not like they've been a true contender. The Saints haven't really done much of late. Panthers, same boat. Colts, 2 first-round picks for Sauce Gardner. Is looking worse by the day. Giants for the last decade have pretty much been irrelevant. The Jets haven't been to the playoffs, I think, at this point in about a decade. The Steelers haven't won a playoff game since 2016, I believe. The Bears outside of last year haven't been great. The Chiefs are the lone team on that list who consistently has been a true Super Bowl contender. So I'm not panicking yet. But I will say, with putting money toward defense, drafting and developing now on offense, if the Eagles miss on their picks on offense, might get ugly here over the next few years. The draft is going to be really important for drafting, developing, and getting cost-controlled assets on the offensive side of the ball.
All right, we're giving away some free raffle tickets to win some show merch here. I said once we got to 300 likes on each channel, we would give away free raffle ticket. We are 2 likes away on Eagles. We are 18 likes away on Niners. And then every 50 likes we get, we'll just keep running it back. So 300, 350, 400. We'll keep running it back. So if you haven't hit that thumbs up, like the stream, Who knows? Maybe you like the stream, get your team to make a move because we're still waiting for the Eagles and the Niners to get something going. So Schefter did just say, I must have missed this, the Jags will not be trading Brian Thomas Jr.
Schefter said that.
Apparently, he just said that on the show.
Okay.
I wasn't really listening. All right, there's 300 on Eagles. 7 away on Niners. Did I miss anything important? Not for the Eagles, Chad.
No.
But Geno Smith got traded.
Romeo Doubs to the Patriots.
Those are the real two notable moves today.
Yep.
All right, let's give away a free raffle ticket to win some show merch on Eagles first, and I'm sure we'll get there on Niners here momentarily. And again, every 50 likes, we're doing this again, so hit that thumbs up. So if in the Eagles stream right now, I want everyone to type those PHIs for the birds, spam them. I'm going to pick one person at random who's typing those PHIs in the chat. I'll give you a free raffle ticket. I'll give you all 30 seconds. So over on Eagles now, I'll give you all 30 seconds. Clock starting now. Type those PHIs. I'm going to close my eyes, pick somebody at random to get a free raffle ticket. Some super chats coming out on Niners. We'll get to those here in a second after I give this one away. 15 seconds left. Keep them going as fast as you can. All right. 5 seconds. When we get to 30, I'm going to close my eyes and pick someone. 4, 3, 2, 1. Time. Closing my eyes. Scroll. And we got Jarky Beef. What a name. Jarky Beef 2226. Going to be getting a free raffle ticket. Actually, the first one in the Eagles Now raffle. No one sent in a $20 super over on Eagles to get in the raffle. Jarky Beef winning that free ticket. Every 50 likes we get on each stream, we'll do this. And we just surpassed 300 on Niners as well. So same thing for the Niners stream right now. Everybody watching the 49ers report. Type those SFs in the chat, and I'll do the same thing right now. I'll give away a free raffle ticket to somebody.
Let's do it.
Let's go. Type those SFs. I'll pick someone at random to win a free raffle ticket over on the 49ers report. 30 seconds starts now. Get them going. Get them going. 15 seconds left. 15 seconds left. 10 seconds. Type those SFs. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Eyes closed. And my mouse is over. Big Sky. Big Sky Y25. I think that's how that one said. Big Sky WY25. Congratulations. Again, these are free raffle tickets to win some show merch. So every 50 likes we get, we'll do those again. So when we get to 350 on each show, already up to 329 on Eagles, 320 on Niners. So
let's go.
Let's go. Get to these super chats that came in. A few super chats coming in on the 49ers report. Start here with Silent. Silent but deadly. Odafe always deals screwed all the teams on Hendrickson. Yeah, he got what? 25 a year? Like 4 for 100 for Owe, right?
Yes. Yep.
Yes, I mean, Hendrickson definitely doesn't want less than that. But again, there was a report that came out last night that he was looking for 30 plus, and no team was willing to give it to him. Hendrickson was. So I wouldn't give him 30 either. Okay, so apparently Jeremy Fowler says it was between the Patriots and the Commanders
as his primary options.
Set it on New England. Yeah, so they keep reporting 4 for 80 on ESPN for Doubs. Not 68. 75 Dignan. Another $5 super chat coming in here. Oh, just got a notey. Nope. Is a package for Trent and CMC to KC for a first and K9 possible? They're not trading Kenneth Walker. They just signed him. I haven't done the math. B-Rob and K9. I don't think that's just a very realistic deal. I mean, they just signed Kenneth Walker. They're not giving him up right away.
All right. Who wants us to talk some Niners on the 49ers report? Type me. Type B. I think I saw Super Chat come in on Niners as well.
Yeah, a couple more here. James with a 10.
James, I'd give San Francisco flack if they didn't trade, or if they don't trade Mac Jones, a prime opportunity to improve the roster from an area of strength. If Purdy goes down, so be it. Prime example of GM Kyle influenced by head coach Kyle. It's a problem, man. It's a problem. You need a true talent evaluating general manager in there. You can't allow Kyle Shanahan to have so much roster control because as a head coach, they're not scouting prospects from college during the season. They're not looking at long-term projections, which is the job of a scout or a GM. They're looking at immediate fit and need. And that's hurt the Niners. Lyle, Chase, give me your top 5 NFC teams as of right now. Great question. Rams 1, Seahawks 2, Bears 3, Packers 4, Eagles 5, Niners 6. Let me throw in a sneaky team. So 7 seeds, right, for the playoffs. One of these teams has to be a divisional winner. And it has to be from the NFC South. Let me go New Orleans Saints. New Orleans Saints. Top 5 teams in the NFC right now. I think that's a sound list. I mean, there are so many different ways you can go. I think the Cowboys make the playoffs this year. At least they have an opportunity to. Commanders, can they bounce back? Giants going to be better. Detroit, I didn't name. That's hard, man. Todd Ramey, you're actually putting the Packers and Bears above the Niners? What a joke, Chase. It's not that serious, man. It's okay. It's okay. The Bears are really good. The Niners were dead last in sacks last year. They haven't addressed their offensive line. Our guy Lyle asked me to say it and list the teams right now. The Niners have signed Mike Evans and a backup offensive tackle. It's very early. It's going to be okay. Fred Warner, Nick Bosa, Michael Williams coming back will definitely help. The Bears are really freaking good, man. Chris, what about Ursery and Trent, or Ursery for Trent and a 4th for Addison? Well, Ursery's on... Oh, you're saying 2 different trades here. Ariante Ursery for Trent Williams and a 4th-round pick for Addison. If you can't come to an agreement for Trent, I liked Ariante Ursery a lot. coming out of Minnesota as a player. He'd be much cheaper than Fred Warner. Let's look at Ursari's numbers from last year. Not a bad rookie year. He was 8th in offensive snaps played at the tackle spot. 1,023 snaps at left tackle, 59 at right tackle. Overall grade 58.9, pass blocking grade 64.2, run blocking grade 51.8. He's a second-round pick. 8 sacks, ranked 79th. 11 hits, 86th. 44 pressures, 81st. Can he cut some of those numbers in half? I think he can. And again, that would be a move for the Niners that would save them a bunch of money. D'Abno said Carolina, they just got better on defense. Yeah, but who would you rather take at quarterback? Tyler Shuck? Bryce Young? I'm going Shuck. Lloyd Benson, you're a clown. Thank you. People getting bent out of shape about rankings on March 10th. Never said that the Niners couldn't compete for a Super Bowl. Honestly, who the hell cares what the rankings are in the NFC? Who's standing when it's time for the Super Bowl? All right, let's we can do a Niners vid here. What can we hit on? Some compensatory picks for the Niners. Continue to talk a little bit of Mike Evans. Trent Williams, Mac Jones. I think that's enough for a video. We get a $50 super chat. I'll do another beer bong, and we'll spin the wheel again. All right, let's see.
Also, shout out to y'all, because we're only 8 likes away from doing another raffle ticket giveaway on Eagles and only 18 from doing another one on Niners. So, like the stream, baby. It's free raffle tickets.
Oh, A.J. Brown update from Fowler. Okay, so Fowler said his sense this morning was that the Patriots had cooled on the idea of trading for AJ. They were working on the Romeo Doubs deal. They signed Doubs. They signed Draymond Jones for crazy money. And so it might take the Patriots out of the AJ Brown trade discussions. Here's what Shefty is going to say here. Schefter said there was a window in time last week before the Max Crosby deal got done. Shefty's pretty much saying like the window to trade AJ may have passed because of all this movement that we're seeing. Chris, a fourth for Jordan Addison, by the way, would be an intriguing move. Again, I always say this with Addison. He's gotten arrested 3 times. Like, did the Niners want to deal with that type of headache? I just don't know if they do after the Brandon Ayuk situation. Mike Evans is a class act, and he's an ultimate pro. Plus, Addison's going to be looking for a new extension. Do you trust paying him? I'm not sure. It's tough. Schefter said there's no reason for the Eagles to act on an A.J. Brown trade at this time.
Fluid situation. Let's give away another raffle ticket over on Eagles. 353 likes.
Let's go.
Every 50 likes, we're giving away raffle tickets.
Getting some thoughts together for a Niners cut that we'll do here.
All right. Let's do it again. Type those PHIs if you're watching on Eagles now. Type those PHIs. I'm going to put 30 seconds on the clock, which starts right now. I'll pick somebody at random who's typing those PHIs to win a free raffle ticket. If you win the raffle, you win some Eagles Now merch or some 49ers Report merch if you win over there. All right, 15 seconds in. Spam those PHIs. I'm going to pick somebody at random. Close my eyes. Whoever my cursor lands on is going to get it. 5 more seconds. Get him going. Get him going. Get him going. In 3, 2, 1. Closing my eyes. Scrolling up. Scrolling down. And, oh, it's currently rebranding.
Let's go.
In the building. Winning that free raffle ticket. Legend. Currently rebranding. Wins the free ticket on Eagles Now. When we get to 400 likes, we'll do that again. So you still have a chance. And again, it's $20 to get into the raffle if you want. We only have 2 people in the raffle right now on Eagles Now. And it's the 2 people that have won the free ticket. So $20 to get into the raffle. Get you a guaranteed spot. We also just surpassed 350 likes on the 49ers report, so we'll do the same over there, but I want to get to these super chats first so they don't get buried. Bunch of supers coming in on the 49ers report. Yeah, we're currently rebranding. Oh, snap, I won. Yeah, you did.
Currently rebranding. Got to be here for when we sign off to claim your raffle prize, though, so.
Yep.
Don't go anywhere.
All right, let's see. Just waiting on the supers to come through. Here we go. Robbie. And these are on the 49ers report here. Asks, thoughts on second and third round draft picks on offensive linemen for the Niners? I mean, it's got to be a priority, man. I think they can go first round offensive linemen depending on who's there. Double dipping would make some sense. They did just sign Vidarian Lowe, but got to get some other young talent there. You have Dominic Pooney, of course, but it's really it in terms of like young offensive line talent. Nest Seal, $10. Chase, we have another 4th. I take a chance on J.A. Low risk, high reward. J.A.
Jordan Addison.
Jordan Addison. I was like, who is J.A.? I mean, a 4th? Has his character
so
concerns.
I'm literally looking at the 49ers picks right now. You can't trade comp picks, right? So the 49ers have 3 comp picks in the 4th round. 133, 138, 139. You'd have to trade your own 4th round comp pick at 127. Let's go. Can we go Dub City shirts for the spawn on this? Niners?
Yeah, it's just merch.
Yep.
So good. Lyle sitting in at 5. Chase, I agree with your ranking where the Niners are at because they need starting guard, defensive end, defensive tackle, and a safety. Yeah, like rankings in March. There's so much to be filled out.
They have holes at center and left guard. You don't know if your left tackle is going to be on the team. Health is still a major issue. You've still got holes on the defensive line. You're the oldest offense in the NFL last year. You haven't gotten younger there. Draft still has to happen. You're asking me right now. Hey, the word fan is short for fanatic.
Thanks for the 5. $289 on the 49ers report today. 40 over on Eagles now.
Can we get to $100 in supers on Eagles? About 60 away. I want to spin the wheel again. I want to freestyle somebody's name again.
359 likes on Niners, so let's give away a free raffle ticket. All right, if you're watching the 49ers report, spam some SFs. I see your super chat, Robbie. We'll get to that in a sec. You got 30 seconds to spam SF. I'll pick somebody at random. They'll get a free raffle ticket to possibly win some 49ers report merch. Every 50 likes, we're doing it. So if you don't win now, you still might have a chance. 15 seconds left. Type those SFs. Then they're flying. All right, here we go.
SFs are flying, baby.
In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's going to be FR Apex Prods. For real Apex Prods. Going to be the winner.
Schefter just reported there's a good chance that Alvin Kamara has played his last down with the Saints. All right, Karen Garigian, Patriots columnist for Mass Live Sports. I'm told the Romeo Doubs signing won't necessarily preclude the Patriots from continuing to pursue A.J. Brown. You've got a quarterback on his rookie contract. Go all in before Drake May costs $60+ million. All right. We've got some Niners stuff to talk about.
Cool. One more super that came in.
Robbie, $2. Chase, respect and love, brother. Niners fan here. Robbie, salute to you, man. Thanks for being here. You want to send a message in as far as
Yep, I got
plan?
it.
Here's the tweet from Schefter. Despite speculation, the Jags have not been interested in trading Brian Thomas Jr.
Cowboys just opened up about $8.8 million in cap space, converting Kenny Clark's roster bonus to a signing bonus. Cowboys, what are they cooking up? Jim Hicks, $2 on Eagles now. Why aren't the Eagles doing anything? I wish I could tell you. I don't got the answer, Sway. I don't got the answers. Oh, Cyril, what a legend.
Ah, what a guy.
Dennis, only bums left? There's still some good players
Nah,
out
still,
there.
I mean, Trey Hendrickson's not a bum. Jaquan Brisker, not a bum. Tariq Woolen, not a bum. Yeah, Hicks 46. Why aren't the Eagles doing anything? I think Howie's just letting the market determine itself. And then this is where he pounces for deals that aren't as exorbitant, aren't as expensive as some of the crazy contracts that we saw yesterday.
I mean, Rasheed Walker is a good offensive tackle. Bradley Chubb is still out there. Jauan Jennings. K'Lavon Chaisson. Nahshon Wright.
Nahshon Wright's a good player.
So, some decent talent still out there. Goddard is still sitting out there.
Goddard, good player.
All right, we're all good here whenever you're ready.
All
Cyril's
right.
going to get us again.
Sweet. Cool. All right, let's talk some Niners here. We talked Eagles. We'll talk some Niners. The fuck? Shout out to the 44 people watching live on the Chase Down. Can we get some likes up on the Chase Down here? 57 likes. Yesterday, we got 100 on the nose. If you're watching on the chase down, hit that thumbs up icon, like the video. Elliot Shaw, Craig McDonald, Up to the Minute Sports, Death by Shockwave, Mike Poppy, Mike Gonzalez, Jacko Chases. Shout out to all of you guys. All right, we'll talk some Niners here. Let's do it. What is up, everybody? Welcome into the show. You're watching the San Francisco 49ers Report. My name is Chase Sr. No signings as of yet for the Niners on day 2 of free agency, but there's a lot to talk about here on the show. I have some more thoughts on this Mike Evans deal and why I think it's a great move for San Francisco, of course, if he can stay healthy. The Niners got some great news from the NFL, looking ahead to the NFL draft. Stay tuned for that. We have a Brandon Ayuk update because of what is happening with other teams and the moves that team and teams are trying to make. We have a Mac Jones trade update as well, and then the latest updates on Trent Williams. Before we get to all of that, you know the drill. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button for daily and year-round coverage of the Niners. We're always bringing the heat. This is your go-to spot for the best offseason coverage, and of course, once the season comes around, we're always talking Niners football here on the program. Let's begin with Mike Evans here. Yesterday, signing that 3-year deal up to $60.4 million, but I love this move for San Francisco for a couple of reasons. The money, it's such an affordable contract. Really what he's getting is $14 million per year, $16 million in guaranteed money. It's pretty much a 1-year move for the 49ers. If it works out, great bang for your buck and a great bargain. If it doesn't, it's not going to hurt you too much on the salary cap. So this is an affordable contract at a position that is taking off as far as the financials at that position and what the market value is. You see players like Alec Pierce going for 29, and then you see the Niners getting a future Hall of Famer in Mike Evans at that type of dollar figure. Mike Evans is also a great fit for head coach Kyle Shanahan. Kyle Shanahan's going to be able to get in his bag with finding ways to scheme open Mike Evans from a play design standpoint, play calling point of view, but also utilizing the route tree of Mike Evans and the routes that he is elite at running fits what the Niners like at the wide receiver spot. Also, Mike Evans is a great fit for the quarterback in Brock Purdy. What does Brock Purdy do such a good job of? Processing, but also throwing with timing, touch, accuracy, anticipation. He trusts his wide receivers. He throws a lot of 50-50 balls. You put it in the same zip code as Mike Evans, he's coming down with those balls, but he's also a tremendous red zone target for Brock Purdy. Whether it be corner fades, whether it be him winning routes with good footwork, using his physicality and his 6'5" frame to shield off DBs, but he can also go up and get at high point footballs because he has elite athleticism and the ability to go up and snatch the ball out of the air. He has great hands, but he also complements Purdy's skill set, but the other players on this Niners team, George Kittle once he comes back, Christian McCaffrey, and Ricky Pearsall. I think Kyle Shanahan's going to have a lot of fun with drawing up 9s, for instance, for Mike Evans, but then the deep crossers for Ricky Pearsall. And Mike Evans demands a lot of attention and a lot of double teams. What happened so often last year? The Niners didn't really have guys with Ricky Pearsall out, George Kittle in and out of the lineup, a bad offensive line who could create separation but also draw double teams. Mike Evans will do that on the boundary. So safeties in 2025 were playing in the box. Teams were loading up the line of scrimmage. That helped them get pressure on Brock Purdy. It helped them stop the run game. Mike Evans can help to ease the void there and take attention away from teams loading up the box. Going back to what Purdy does really well. I've always said this about Purdy, And I've talked about these numbers so often. Everybody thinks that he has a noodle arm, that he can't throw the deep ball, that he can't throw deep. Brock Purdy is a really good deep ball thrower. This is backed up by his accuracy, his completion rate on deep balls, and that's with him not having a lot of separation from his wide receivers. Brock Purdy in 2025 completed 33 passes of 20-plus yards in 9 games. He averaged nearly 4 explosive completions per game. Mike Evans had an average depth of target of nearly 13 and a half yards. He's going to be able to get open downfield. 4.5 speed, but again, what you have to factor in, how big of a target he is, the wingspan, his ability to tower over DBs, but he uses that big frame and physicality to box out defenders. So Purdy is aggressive in throwing the deep ball. Mike Evans can get vertical and take the top off of the defense. The Niners last year didn't have a player who could do that. Also, as far as separation, Mike Evans can create separation. His separation numbers in 2023-2024 were elite. His separation win rate, 22.1%. Ricky Pearsall's separation win rate, 19.6%. Guess where that ranked Mike Evans? Number 2. Where did that rank Ricky Pearsall? Number 3. Lastly, Mike Evans wanted to be a Niner. His criteria for going to his next team: wanted a chance to win a Super Bowl. Check. Wanted to play with an elite quarterback. Check. Wanted a great play caller and offensive coordinator. Check. He wanted target share and target volume. Check. For the breaking news video yesterday, I talked about that. And the Niners can check off all those boxes. And then there was a clip that went viral from LaShawn McCoy. He was with Mike Evans over the weekend. And he said, there's a good chance I'm going to go to the Niners. And I think Mike Evans saw what an older player, Devontae Adams, could do in a Sean McVay type of offense last year, the opportunities that created. And Mike Evans said, I want me some of that. So this is a really intriguing signing at the price tag. And Mike Ortaza had some of those great numbers on X. A shout out to him. The 49ers also getting some great news from the National Football League. Late yesterday, the NFL rewarded the Niners 3 compensatory picks, all of which in the 4th round. And this is actually pretty historical what the Niners have done as far as taking advantage of the compensatory pick formula. This is something that I have discussed on the show time and time again, that they have mastered the compensatory pick formula. Since 2020, when teams started to take advantage of this, when rules started to allow teams to master the comp pick formula, since it became a thing, since 2020, the Niners have now compiled 28 compensatory picks in the NFL draft, most in the National Football League. What did the Niners do last offseason? They weren't too active in free agency signing external players. They signed a lot of their own guys, but not a lot of external options. They built through the draft. Why? Because those players are cost-controlled assets for the next few years. What does it look like the Niners are going to do and want to do this offseason again with an expensive roster that is older, still eating some dead money? They want to build through the draft. The Niners are going to be able to do that. This gives you flexibility with where you can use these picks, but also if you want to trade those picks. So the Niners right now have 7 picks coming up in the 2026 draft. 27th overall, 58th overall, 92 overall. 3 picks in the top 100. Not great, but still pretty good. What if you package 27 and 58 to move up the board? That gives you flexibility. Now, you cannot trade compensatory picks, but in the 4th round, the Niners are at 127, 133, 138, and 139. You could trade 127 to move up, knowing in your back pocket, you've got those compensatory picks at 133, 138, 139. And if you want to trade out, you can also do that if you want to move back. If the board is falling your way, again, not with those compensatory picks, but with that 4th rounder at 127, knowing you're Next on the clock at 133, then 138, 139. Not a lot of distance between those. And, of course, you could trade future picks as well. The Niners do not have picks in the 5th to 7th rounds because they traded those away for Bryce Huff, Brian Robinson, Khalil Davis. But the Niners have 7 picks all inside the first 4 rounds, and a lot of people look at this draft class as having the most value and depth between 75 and 150. Where are the Niners between 75 and 150? Again, 92, 127, 133, 138, 139. And those contracts for players in those draft slots, if they hit on those picks, very cheap and affordable. So the Niners need to keep hitting in the draft. Having the ammo allows you to have an opportunity to do that. Brandon Ayuk update, Mac Jones trade update, Trent Williams news coming up in just a moment. But we've continued to push a lot of our Chat Sports merchandise over the last couple of days. And a lot of you have purchased some 49ers Report shirts. It's a great design and you can support the program, but also these Dub City shirts are incredible. A couple of months ago, linked up with our design guy, Arnold, who's been crushing it across the board at Chat Sports. And we've been selling merchandise like crazy, and we created these shirts. Anytime the Niners get a victory, Fred Warner goes up to the camera and he goes, Dub City! So he turned it into a shirt. Dub City shirts available in red. And then we have black hoodies available where the logo is on the left chest. How do you get them? They're very affordable, great material. They'll last you a long time. You can wear these forever. They're timeless. Chatsports.com/DubCity. Good for a game day. Good for during the season. Good for the offseason because they look good and the design is fresh. Chatsports.com/DubCity. Let's talk some Brandon Ayuk here. So the New England Patriots signed Romeo Doubs today. But the Washington Commanders were one of the 2 teams that Romeo Doubs was seriously looking at. Now, this is news for the Niners because Romeo Doubs is not signing with San Francisco. And I had said it yesterday. The signing of Mike Evans took the Niners out of the Romeo Doubs sweepstakes, in my opinion. I think the Niners sign Mike Evans here. They draft the wide receiver. You've got Ricky Pearsall. Then you let Jacob Cowing, Jordan Watkins compete to be the speed guy. You could cut DeMarcus Robinson if you wanted to, or that's another wide receiver that you could have. And then you let Jauan Jennings walk because he could demand a lot of money. The skill sets for Jennings and Evans, too similar. Both tall, not really too fast. Although Jennings better in the slot. Evans, obviously an outside wide receiver. But going back to the Commanders, they were a finalist for Romeo Doubs. They were a finalist for Alec Pierce. They couldn't get either of those 2 wide receivers. That shows me, though, and tells everybody, they look at wide receiver as a big need. Could they settle for Brandon Ayuk once Ayuk is released on Wednesday as an option to address the wide receiver spot? They've long been rumored to be interested in Ayuk. They are one of the teams who were in the trade mix for BA last year in the lead up to Ayuk signing that contract. I should say going into 2024. Brandon Ayuk is best friends with Jaden Daniels, and it's almost been like the worst kept secret. BA to Washington tomorrow or at some point this offseason would not surprise me. Mac Jones update. According to Diana Rossini, teams have called the Niners about a Mac Jones trade, but the asking price for the Niners is excessive. It's way too high. And this tells me a couple things, right? Niners value Mac Jones. They should. He went 5-3 last year. He played really well. They also have some concerns about Brock Purdy's injury history. He's a smaller quarterback. He's dealt with injuries. I don't think Brock Purdy is necessarily brittle, but he's had some injuries. And the best security that you can have, as I always say, is quarterback security. So obviously the asking price always starts higher and the team can come down. But right now it doesn't seem like the Niners are willing to move Mac Jones unless they get a really good pick. Teams with starting quarterback jobs still available. As of this recording, 3:41 p.m. Eastern on this Tuesday, 12:41 p.m. Pacific. Arizona Cardinals. They signed Gardner Minshew. They have Jacoby Brissett. Mac Jones is better than them both. It's a weak quarterback draft class. Minnesota, long been linked to Mac Jones. You pair Jones up with Kevin O'Connell. I like the fit there. The Pittsburgh Steelers. Are they going to go with Will Howard? Will Aaron Rodgers come back? We'll see. Cleveland. In-house competition. I think they go with the in-house options. Indianapolis. Looks like the Colts and Daniel Jones are working out a long-term deal. New York Jets off the table. They traded for Geno Smith. Miami Dolphins off the table. They signed Malik Willis. So the quarterback available teams or quarterback needy teams are starting to dwindle, which is taking options away for the Niners as far as a Mac Jones trade destination. All along, I've said that Minnesota makes the most sense. I'd put Pittsburgh in there as well. Other options available for quarterback needy teams. Kyler Murray, a free agent. Aaron Rodgers, a free agent. Kirk Cousins will be a free agent starting on Wednesday. Justin Fields, Derek Carr, if he comes out of retirement, the Fresno State legend. Trent Williams update. Peter Schrager said the Niners absolutely love Trent Williams. They want to get a deal done. That's the newest update on that front. It's the smartest play to work out a deal. What could throw a wrench into the Trent Williams financial discourse and conversation is how often the offensive tackle market is changing. These offensive linemen are getting overpaid in free agency. Shoot, we saw center Tyler Linderbaum get $27 million per year. On an average annual value basis, that's right up there with Trent Williams. Trent Williams could be saying, yeah, I'm about to be 38, but I'm still maybe the best left tackle in the game. You got to pay me. What the Niners, though, want, probably to definitely lower the cap hit, which in 2026 is nearly $39 million. And I think a way to do that, give them guaranteed money. Just get it done. Don't have a situation like you had in 2024 where he held out, didn't do anything throughout camp or in the preseason. Then he was never in shape and healthy, and he barely played that year. Get it done early, avoid that, and learn your lesson from what has happened of late. With Deebo coming in late, out of shape. Ayuk coming in late, out of shape. Bosa coming in late, out of shape. Trent Williams coming in late, wasn't ready. So that's the latest on the Niners front. Don't forget to give me a follow on social media. You can find me on X, Instagram, TikTok, at Chase_Senior. I'm on Facebook, Chase Senior Chat Sports. I'm giving you Niners content there, and of course, always on YouTube. Good stuff, everybody. $648 people watching live on the Niners Report. We've got 308 on Eagles Now. Nothing happened while we were doing that.
The most recent. Oh, you know what? We got a slight little signing. Slight little signing that did happen.
Which one was that?
We got.
Oh, Tevin Jenkins.
Oh, I didn't even see that. Did that just happen as well?
Yeah, Tevin Jenkins just re-signed. Interesting. They're calling him a guard, not a tackle.
But we got Malcolm Rodriguez re-signing with Detroit. That was the latest. And then now Tevin Jenkins. There we go.
Sorry. I'm thinking Jedrick Wills as the tackle, who used to be a Brown, did not play this past year. Jenkins has been a guard. Was with the Bears from 2021 to 2024. Browns last year. Injury-prone player, pretty solid when healthy, but injuries are a major red flag. He played in all 17 games last year. Started 4 at right guard. So more of a backup option. But Browns have huge issues along the offensive line.
No
That's
doubt.
why they overpaid for
Zion
Johnson.
Gave him a bag.
Gave him a bag.
Absolute bag. Well, this is fun. We get to do this again. Free raffle ticket. We surpassed 400 likes on each stream. We got more likes than people watching on Eagles right now. That's electric. Shout out to y'all for hitting that thumbs up. So we'll start with the Eagles. Actually, you know what? We'll do them both at the same time. Why not? We're giving away free raffle tickets to win some show merch for every 50 likes. Just surpassed 400 on each channel. Jets signing Nahshon Wright. 1 year, $5.5
That's
million.
it?
Yeah. Wow.
Holy crap. I can't believe his market was that low.
These might be the kind of deals we start seeing now. 5 picks, 11 pass breakups. Was a little up and down in coverage, but makes plays in the ball, man. 2 forced fumbles to go along with that. 80 tackles. Certainly can get targeted, but man, it's not a lot of money. Broncos safety P.J. Locke signing with the Cowboys.
I can't believe Nahshon Wright is only getting $5.5 million. Jeez.
He just had no market, man.
Wow. I've said wow a lot the last 2 days. That's free agency defined right there.
All right, we're getting some movement. We're getting some action. As I was saying, though, we're going to give away a free raffle ticket on each channel. So if you're watching on Eagles now, type PHI in the chat. If you're watching on the 49ers report, type SF in the chat. 30 seconds. I'm going to pick somebody on each channel to win a free raffle ticket to win some show merch. Let's get it going.
Wow. Albert Breer just tweeted out the Chiefs are hopeful Patrick Mahomes will be close to being himself by week 1.
Wow.
Sheesh. All right, I see the comment section flowing. That's got to make Chip happy.
10 seconds. Type PHI, type SF. I'm going to pick somebody random who's spamming those to win a free raffle ticket. 5 seconds. 4, 3. I'm going to go Niners first. 3, 2, 1. Beaver 1172, and then on Eagles in 3, 2, 1. CEO. So let's see. On Niners, we got Beaver 1172. On Eagles, we got CEO 3x88. All right, here are those details now. We can show y'all. Yeah, up to 5.5 too. That's crazy.
Oh.
Trade to the Bay, maybe. We could see Trey Hendrickson go to Tampa. Beaver said, "What was that for? What did I win?" Beaver doesn't even know what he won. You won a raffle ticket, Beaver. And What the raffle tickets are for is we'll spin a wheel at the end of the show. Got to be here to claim your prize when our stream ends. And whoever that wheel lands on will win some 49ers Report merch. And then on the Eagles side of things, same thing, some Eagles Now merch. So you are in the running to potentially win a shirt, a hat, something like that. That's what you won. Normally it's $20. And if you want to get in the raffle, it is a $20 super chat to get into the raffle. We got 33 names in on Niners right now, only 3 on the Eagles side of things. So you got a big chance to win if you get in right now on either side. When does stream end? It's kind of TBD, man.
Yeah, honestly, we might end it soon so that we can get some food in us and then do some more videos.
It's been 3 hours today.
Ness Moore, my guy's struggling. I'm doing great. I'm scripting shows on the fly. We're doing videos. We're keeping tabs on what's going on. I am hungry, though. I am struggling in that regard. Madden King just got out of school. Did the Niners sign anybody? Nope, not today. Not yet. Some solid moves, though. Romeo Doubs to New England. Nahshon Wright, great value. He had 5 picks last year. That was 5 more than the Jets had as an entire defense. They had 0 picks last year. Elijah Vera Tucker overnight to New England. That's a big one. What's like the other big deal that happened today?
We got Doubs. We got Nahshon Wright.
Geno traded by the Raiders to the Jets as Geno goes back to where his career started. Nothing on Trey Hendrickson. Nothing on Tariq Woolen. Nothing on Jaquan Brisker. Niner Goat. Our team's still allowed to negotiate today? Yeah, it's the legal tampering window. Tomorrow, these deals just become official. They go from being like verbal agreements to pen to paper. Last top 10 free agent spending teams with improvement over previous season. Patriots 2025, Eagles 2024. Patriots were plus 10 in wins. Eagles plus 3. Ravens plus 3. Jags plus 6. Patriots plus 3. Dolphins plus 5. Jets plus 3. Bears plus 7. Jags plus 7. Giants plus 5. So it's helped those teams improve. How about the Titans during the negotiating period? Wan'Dale Robinson, 4 years for 70. John Franklin Myers, 3 for 63. Alontae Taylor, 3 for 60. Cordell Flott, 3 for 45. Daniel Bellinger, 3 for 24. That was only part of it. 75. Another raffle ticket coming his way.
Yes, sir.
How about this? On Eagles, we can only do a raffle if we get to $100 in Super Chats. Or if somebody sends in a 50 right now on Eagles, we'll send you the shirt. We'll just send you the shirt if you send in a 50 right now on Eagles Now. First person to send in a 50, you'll just win our shirt raffle on Eagles Now. 75, you guys are crushing it this week. I appreciate you both. Thanks, man. It's funny. Live on Eagles, live on Niners, live on the Chase Down. I've probably had 2 of the slowest teams to talk about across the NFL. Death by Shockwave, $1. That's Daniel Johnson. Thanks, bro. Hope you're well. And then Sean Mosley, another 10. What's up, Sean? Taden fam. Why would they send 50 for a $20 shirt they can get from your website? To support the channel. To support all of our free content. To have some fun on the show. Sean Mosley, thanks for the 10, my man. All right, let's raffle off a Niners shirt.
Let's do it. My money would be on 75 winning this. He's got a lot of entries. It would be a big upset. All right, there's the wheel. 34 total entries. Some Genie Wyatt in there. A couple of those free entries as well in there.
Let's go.
Let's see who does it. In 3, in 2, in 1. Who wins the Niners merch?
75.
There you go, 75. Nearly.
75. You got a 49ers Report shirt earlier. You've got a hat. Do you want a Dub City shirt or hoodie, or did you already get that? I'm keeping my eye on the chat. Keeping my eye on the chat. You can also donate it to somebody else if you want. That's an option for you. Iron Arrow. Chase, I don't know if you'll see this, but legit question. Do you think that there's some postseason gloom from Eagles fans just in general, or meh? I would definitely say that. I would say after the year, there was not a lot of interest in the Eagles at all. And maybe that's a bad way to phrase it. I just think that Eagles fans, after the Super Bowl run, how frustrating 2025 was, they needed a breather. My content was still doing great, but not as great as other months, right? And I just saw it in the comment section. I sensed it on the radio. I talked to some people who host radio shows in Philadelphia. They kind of sensed the same thing, that the offseason was dead. The Eagles weren't linked to a player like Myles Garrett like they were last year. Max Crosby stuff wasn't as serious. And I think the Eagles were just so exhausted after how annoyingly frustrating the 2025 season was. But I do think there's some more excitement around the Eagles right now because the videos have started to pick up of late. Yeah, Iron Arrow, another good point. Like, this free agency hasn't been as fun. But there's a difference, right? Free agency signing external players might be more silent this year. But what if the Eagles still sign Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter, and they give them huge contract extensions? That's still spending a bunch of money and investing that money. All right, cool. 75 wants a hoodie. We got you on the hoodie. I'll put some notes there.
Travel specialist, thanks for the 2. Trade Mack for a first and get an offensive tackle. Apparently they're asking prices too high for other teams.
All right, 75 Dignan. We'll get you the hoodie. Death by Shockwave just subbed to the Chase Down. Bang, bang. My man. My man. I'll have episode 4? Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday? Episode 5 dropping tonight. Or no. Episode 4. Yeah. I've done 3 shows so far. Got you, 75. Got you. Young Beige, Chase, that is because the real fans are diehard. The fact that we lost to that Niners team really took everything out of everyone. Totally agree. Totally agree. And that's what I was talking about in response to Iron Arrow. I think it was a kick in the balls to all Eagles fans, and they were like, I need a break. The Eagles are embarking on their offseason. I think fans needed an offseason too. Andrew Nathan, tomorrow the Eagles will be busier. Yeah, again, I've said this. I think Howie is letting everybody else dictate the market so that he can then sign players to really solid deals. Sean Mosley, Chase, I'm always with Demo at the club I work at in LA. He needs to stop partying so much and focus. Tell Lynch to hit on a first rounder already. Damn. So Diamador Lenore is always at the club in LA. I will say, like, culturally, I think Diamador Lenore is loved. On the field, I think he's played great football. I think he's been one of the more underrated corners in the game. I don't think his play has suffered. But as you start to get a little bit older, you better be careful about clubbing. I'm 34 now. Shit, I love going out having a good time. Drinking from time to time. Hopping in my duffel bag. But the hangovers are brutal. And what I found as I get older, especially like with how much I love working out and training, mentally, physically, spiritually, I hate feeling sluggish. It impacts my mood, my energy, and I love just having energy, man. I mean, shoot, we were live for 6 hours yesterday, 3 hours, 13 minutes right now. I want to be able to have energy on air. Give the people what they want. Can't do that if you're hungover and tired. Sean Mosley. Now, it seems like you can deal and handle the clubbing. But you're also not a professional athlete. Plus, you're just having a good time. I don't blame you. Shoot, on Saturday, St. Patrick's Day, I'll be out having a few beers.
Got to.
Yeah, it's funny, like, working here. There will be times where a lot of us go out. There will be other times where a fraction of the crew goes out. But on a week like this, it's like in college, even when you're younger, you have plans for St. Patrick's Day like a week out. Now it's like everybody's like, dude, can we get through free agency first?
Literally.
And then we'll figure out Saturday. It's a day-by-day basis. Shit, we could be out bar crawling on Saturday, and then a signing happens.
Oh.
And then everybody's like chipping in. There have been times where we were making thumbnails on Snapchat when the crew was out back in the day. Now we have enough people where we don't have to do that. Yes.
No way.
Yeah. Me and Trace like have made thumbnails on Snapchat before.
How do you even
Absolutely
do that?
ridiculous to even do that. You have to get the perfect image, which is what is that, 16 by 9.
Yeah.
And then we would like put like title bars on there and then like text, and
And
we
you
would
save
somehow get thumbnails done.
Oh
Now we have
my
enough
God.
people where, you know, we can get it done, but crazy.
That's insane.
Yeah. Superman Angry Mob with the $5 super chat. David Dool just subscribed to the channel. Salute, man. Thank you. You're the best. Angry Mob. Thanks for the great coverage. Love your vids that you put out. Best Niners channel there is. Thank you, man. Thank you. 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 This is pretty crazy here. The Jets had Geno Smith as their starter early in his career, right? He was a second-round pick out of West Virginia. They have gone to Matt Sims, Michael Vick, Ryan Fitzpatrick, Bryce Petty, Josh McCown, Sam Darnold, Trevor Siemian, Luke Falk, Joe Flacco, Zach Wilson, Mike White, Josh Johnson, Chris Streveler, Aaron Rodgers, Tim Boyle, Tyrod Taylor, Justin Fields, Brady Cook, and now they're back to Geno Smith. Wild. Wild. All right, we're going to sign off here. Going to sign off. 2 days into free agency, the Eagles have not made a move. 2 days into free agency, the Niners signed Mike Evans, and they signed a backup swing tackle. Free agency winners oftentimes are not Super Bowl winners. It's okay. Death by Shockwave. Everybody subscribe to the Chase Down. Let me push that one more time. I'll push that one more time. I'll put the sub links in the chat. Subscribe to my new NFL YouTube channel. It's called The Chase Down. Link is in the chat. Miss T6, I want to see you tuck into a hoagie while keeping the convo going. I got to eat, man. I got to eat. Chase Down link is in the chat on Eagles Now. Chase Down link is in the chat on the 49ers report. We've got a couple more super chats to get to. Launched the channel on Friday night. We've done 3 videos, and we are at almost 1,700 subscribers. Let's get to 2,000 ASAP. All right. Daniel Johnson, thanks for the support, dude. The Chase Down. Matt Black, $5. F the Niners. It's a good rivalry right now in the NFC. Andrew Nathan, Bang Bang Weiner Gang. John Wallace, I subscribed yesterday, my friend. I saw you in the chat, John. I responded to the comments. All right, we're outie. I'll have another video coming up on Eagles Now. Another video coming up on the Niners Report. And that's regardless of whether or not they make a signing. Chase Down content coming as well. Be on the lookout for all that. Grind don't stop, content don't stop. We're the content daddies. For Chip, I'm Chase. We'll catch you soon. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.